Welcome out to Casper, Wyoming, where the Provo Angels and the Casper Rockies are just minutes away of playing Game 4 of this opening series here in the 2004 Pioneer League season. Last night, the Provo Angels and the Casper Rockies played an interesting game, a lot of wind, a lot of cold weather, but either way, baseball was played. Both ends of the doubleheader were finished. Of course, the Angels lost both ends by a score of 5-4. The first game saw a 1 hour and 15-minute wind delay. The Angels did start making a comeback later on in that game, but the Rockies were able to hold them off as they beat them in the first game by a score of 5-4. In the second game of the doubleheader, once again, Casper Rockies came out hitting the bat with authority as Ryan Fox was responsible for 4 of the 5 runs on last night's contest. As the Provo Angels lost, they now drop to 1-2 on the season. It's still early, plenty of baseball still to be played as the Angels and the Rockies get set to play Game 4 of this series. Tonight, things hopefully will be a little different as Francisco Cordova will be on the mound for the Angels. He was playing in the Mexican League for a little while earlier in the season, and as you may or may not know, the Mexican League is basically a AAA caliber league. So Francisco Cordova starting for the Provo Angels. It's going to be Pedro Chavigi pitching for the Casper Rockies, and Chavigi 5 wins, 10 losses, and a 4.61 ERA in his minor league career. So the Angels and the Rockies getting set to make this game a reality. And let's go ahead and look around the league, look around the Angel system, and get you up to date with all the great stuff that went on in the Angel system. Cedar Rapids Colonels and the Peoria Chiefs last night played a 10-inning contest, and it was the ex-Provo Angel man, Bobby Wilson, who hit his 5th home run of the season and drove home the winning run in the 10th inning, which eventually beat the Peoria Chiefs. Now the Cedar Rapids Colonels are at the All-Star break, so they won't be playing for the next 3 days. Currently, the Cedar Rapids Colonels are 1 game back in the Midwest League, and they have the second-best record in that division. Moving on up the Anaheim Angels ladder, we go to Rancho Cucamonga, where the Quakes were playing the Inland Empire 66ers at Inland Empire. On both this game was a scoreless game until the Empires broke through with a run in the 7th inning and then 2 runs in the 8th inning, eventually defeating the Quakes 3-0. Rancho is home against the High Desert Mavericks for the next 4 games. Currently, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes are 10 games back in the California League, as good things are happening for them. At the AA level, there was no game scheduled for the Arkansas Travelers as it's the AA All-Star break right now. Currently, the Travelers are 33-36. They're 5 games out in their division. The Arkansas Travelers have a lot of great players from Provo playing there right now, and we'll touch upon that in just one moment. Tucson Sidewinders were playing in Salt Lake yesterday, and the Tucson Sidewinders beat the Stingers 11-8. Tucson collected 15 hits. They scored 4 runs in the 3rd and 5 runs in the 7th as they cruised to a victory against the Salt Lake Stingers. They play again tonight at Franklin Covey Field before the Las Vegas 51ers come into town. So if you're looking for some baseball action, head on down to Franklin Covey because the Provo Angels will be home on Wednesday taking on the Idaho Falls Shuckers in our first home game. So catch the Stingers game here and there, and then coming out to the Angels game, and let's get set for baseball as Wednesday, June 23rd, will be the opening game for your Provo Angels. The news in the Angel system right now, Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis, 2 all-star players, excellent athletes, had some great numbers with Provo back in 2001. They have been named to the all-star team, the Futures all-star team, and they will play against the World All-Stars 2 days before the Major League All-Star game at Minute Maid Ballpark. So Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis. McPherson nearly hit 400 with Provo back in 2001, and Jeff Mathis was an excellent backstop, hitting over 300. Both of those gentlemen will be playing at Minute Maid Park in the future All-Stars game. So congratulations to those 2 as we get set to play baseball here in Casper, Wyoming. The Rockies are taking the field right now, and again, this is Game 4 of tonight's doubleheader. We're going to go ahead and pause for a break, and we'll bring it back out here in just one moment.
Number 17, Mike Davies. Behind the plate, number number 21, Ryan Fox. And tonight, starting pitcher for your Casper Rockies, number 28, Pedro Chavini. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to rise, take off your hats, and join Jennifer Orbis in the singing of our national anthem brought to you each and every game by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, working for you.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose bright lights and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Provo Angels baseball begins now. Welcome out to the broadcast booth. I'm your host, Jacob Peters. And yeah, the Provo Angels played an interesting couple of games yesterday. They lost both ends of the doubleheader, but it was basically because of fatigue. Coach Tom Kochman talked with the team yesterday, basically got them back in the mood. And this is going to happen. Obviously, the beginning of the season, these guys are getting to know each other. A lot of them are just starting their professional careers playing with the wood bat on a daily basis. And they're going to adjust. They're going to get used to playing this sort of competition. So it's normal for the Provo Angels to start off this way, and we expect them to be back in cruise control shortly here. Starting for the Provo Angels is going to be Francisco Cordova, the right-hander. He'll be opposed by Pedro Chavini, who will be pitching for the Casper Rockies. Chavini, 5 wins and 10 losses in his minor league career. He was injured last season, so he didn't pitch at all. Previously, before that, he was in the Dominican Summer League and spent some time here in Casper in 2002. So Chavini, a good strikeout-to-walk ratio, 149 strikeouts in 140 innings pitched and 46 walks. Chavini will have his hands full today as he faces off against a pretty talented Provo Angels lineup. Let's go ahead and look at the Angels lineup for this evening. As right now, nothing but blue skies above us, and it's the first time in this entire series that we've actually seen blue skies and not a cloud for miles and miles away. So definitely this should turn out to be a great game as the Angels and the Rockies are getting set to play Game 4 of this 5-game set here in Casper, Wyoming. Billy Boyer will be leading things off for the Angels. He's a switch hitter playing second base. Boyer currently is leading the league in hits with 6. Cliff Ramali in left field. He is batting in the 2 spot, a left-hander. Felix Nunez in center field will be hitting 3rd. Ben Johnson, the catcher, will be in the 4 spot. And Nate Sutton back in the lineup. He'll be at 3rd base, batting in the 5-hole. Caleb Mayer, the DH, will be hitting 6th. Jordan Renz, JR like he likes to be called, will be in the 7th spot in right field. Chris Walston at first base will be hitting 8th. And Ryan Leahy, the shortstop, will be in the 9th spot. Pedro Chavini on the mound, a strong right-hander. Billy Boyer waits from the left side, and the first pitch will be inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Billy Boyer currently hitting .545 for the Angels. It's only 3 games worth, but he's obviously started off very good with the Provo Angels this season. The 1-0 pitch on the outside part of the plate, it'll catch the white, and that evens things up at 1-1. Billy Boyer last season was a .291 hitter with Mesa. and has started off this season hitting the ball pretty well. A 3-run homer last night in the top of the 7th, which tied the game up for the Angels. Eventually the Rockies would score in the bottom of the 7th to walk away with the win. Billy Boyer also has a couple of doubles. So a couple doubles and a home run. He's got more extra base hits than the rest of the team combined. Boyer gets a piece and fouls it back down the third base side. Foul, 1-2. You're listening to SportsJuice.com, home and the listener for the Provo Angels. Catch all the action this season, and we appreciate you tuning in. Boyer, the 1-2 pitch is going to bounce in front of the plate. Makes the count 2-2. Defensively for the Casper Rockies, Ryan Fox behind the plate, Mike Davies at first base, Eric Young Jr. at second, Jeff Dragisevich at short, and Kyle Wilson playing the hot corner at third. Dustin Hahn in left, Stephen Boggs in center, and Seth Smith making his first start with the Rockies in right field. Boyer blooping one into center field, coming on and not going to make the play is Stephen Boggs as it drops in left center. So Billy Boyer, for the 4th straight game to open up the season, has collected a base hit. That's some impressive hitting by Billy Boyer. Not often do you see a guy opening up 4 straight games with a base hit. Normally it takes a couple of innings for them to adjust to the pitcher and to get used to the surface and the field. But Billy Boyer doing a good job helping the Angels out as he now has 7 hits in his first 4 games. Of course, this one isn't all the way done yet. Cliff Romali from the left. First pitch he'll take will be high, 1-0. Romali, an 11th round draft pick out of Georgia Tech, put up some solid numbers out east. 15 doubles, 4 home runs, and 56 RBIs with a .344 batting average. So Romali, a good pickup by the Angels, a good left-hander. It's game 4 of this 5-game set. Your Provo Angels will head home on Wednesday to take on the Idaho Fall Chuckers and the Ogden Raptors. So there'll be a 7-game homestand. Romali waits. Here's the pitch. Grounded softly to the shortstop, Dragisevich. Will go to second for 1, but the relay back to first will not be attempted as it was a slow roller to the infield. Dragisevich had to turn around his body to make the play. So Boyer is out at second base, and Romali's on with the fielder's choice. Felix Nunez digs in. Nunez, a .333 hitter last year at Mesa. He's got the second highest average for any active player on this Provo staff. Nunez waiting from the right, and Shaviji set. First pitch is going to be fouled behind the plate. 0-1. Stay with us throughout the game as we'll give you some this dates in baseball history. We'll throw some Major League Trivia question your way, and we'll also update you on the games going on in the big leagues. And again, we'll touch upon what has been going on in the Angels organization within the last few days as well. 0-1 to Nunez. Pedro Shaviji waiting. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be inside. 1-1. Provo Angels starting off 1-2. They opened up the season looking pretty good, even though it was a pitcher's duel in the opening game. They started hitting the ball better yesterday, but the wind delay was an issue. And obviously when you play 5.5 hours worth of baseball, you tend to feel a little fatigued. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nunez from the right side. Top of the first inning, 1 out. And Shaviji will just toss the ball over to first base to Mike Davies just to keep Romali close. Cliff Romali, decent speed in college, but mainly it was his hitting that got him drafted, not necessarily the speed or his glove. The pitch to Nunez over the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we'll give you some scouting reports on some of your Provo Angel players. We'll let you know what the scouts had to say about them. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nunez in the hole right here. Runner at first. Here it comes. Swung a little dribbler to the third baseman. Having to hurry is Kyle Wilson. Strong throw. Nunez is thrown out, but Romoli will advance to second base. 2 outs now here in the top of the first inning. Romoli at second base, and Ben Johnson digs in. Ben Johnson played his first game yesterday in game 1 of the doubleheader and collected, in his first 2 ever professional at-bats, a single and a double. Johnson, a switch hitter out of the University of Washington, hit about .305 and got drafted in the 23rd round by the Angels this year. 2 outs on the board. Shaviji set. Here's the pitch. Inside, the ball will skip away from catcher Ryan Fox, but it doesn't get too far away as Romoli has to stay at second. 1-0. Right now, the sun is shining on the field. This is the first time this entire series that we've been able to look in the skies and actually say that the skies are blue. Clouds are far away, and the sun and the shadows are on the field. Feels a little more like baseball, even though it's a little chilly outside, about 62, 64 degrees. The 1-0 pitch, foul straight back and over the press box. 1-1. Ben Johnson played in 46 games with the University of Washington, had 7 home runs, and a .305 average. And Johnson obviously can hit at this level, as we saw yesterday, with a hard RBI single, and then a line drive double in his first 2 professional at-bats. Nate Sutton in the on-deck circle. Ben Johnson trying to get this game to work out in the right way for the Angels as they lost 2 yesterday. They want to come back and at least even up the series today. Johnson fouls the pitch back. 1-2. We'll get you up to date with all the Provo Angels stuff that's going to be going on this week as it's opening night, Wednesday, June 23rd. The Angels taking on the Idaho Falls Chuckers. So we'll make sure that we get you posted, give you numbers, some phone numbers so you can get your tickets. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ben Johnson from the left. Here it comes. Shavolji's going to be fouled. Now Shaviji comes inside. Ben Johnson pulls it down the right field side. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning. And we'll give you, again, a look around the Angels system and let you know what players are going to the All-Star games and what the Anaheim Angels are up to as well. The 1-2 offering, a piece of it, as it's grounded right back to the pitcher. He'll toss it over to first base with ease, and that ends the inning. So after Billy Boyer leads things off with the single, 1 runner is stranded. We head to the bottom of the first. No score, and the Casper Rockies coming up here in Casper, Wyoming.
Bingo on your card. Let us know what the information is. We'll award a prize for the first 2 Eastern Small Baseball Bingo winners each game. Complete details are in our souvenir program along with your baseball bingo card. So get a program tonight and every night so you can play Eastern Small Baseball Bingo. It's time to play Movie Trivia, brought to you by Blockbuster Video. To enter your guess at tonight's Blockbuster Movie Trivia question, fill out the entry form of your souvenir game program and turn in an information movie. You can win yourself a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video. Make it a Blockbuster night. Tonight's question is, in the movie Joe Dirt, who played the starring role of Joe? Was it A, Joe Piscopo, B, David Spade, or C, Adam Sandler? Again, in the movie Joe Dirt, who played the starring role of Joe? We'll be back in a few minutes with the answer from Blockbuster Video. Tonight's Budget Blinds umpires are Shannon Cook and Mark Jarbo. The umpires are brought to you by Budget Blinds, the nation's largest in-home window covering company. For all your custom-made window coverings, from mini blinds to full drapes, call Budget Blinds at 234-4973. That's 234-4973.
Back out here in Casper, Wyoming. the Provo Angels and the Casper Rockies. It's game 4 of this series, and let's go ahead and look at the Casper Rockies lineup for this evening. Eric Young Jr. will be leading things off. He's a switch hitter. He'll be followed by Dustin Hahn, who will be in left field. Seth Smith making his first start with the Casper Rockies. He'll be hitting in the 3 spot. Seth Smith was a second-round draft pick by the Rockies, 50th overall pick. He'll be hitting 3rd. Ryan Fox, the player of both games yesterday, will be in the cleanup spot as he's catching. Mike Davies, who brought home the winning run in last night's game, will be hitting 5th. He's at first base. Kyle Wilson at 3rd. He'll be hitting 6th. And Jeff Dragisevich, the shortstop, will be hitting 7th. Rob Hansgood, the DH, will be 8th. And Stephen Boggs will be in center field, batting in the 9-hole. Francisco Cordova on the mound for the Provo Angels. He pitched 12 innings in the Mexican League. And here he is, signed as a free agent, as he takes on Eric Young. First pitch going to be inside, nearly grazing Young. Gets out of the way, 1 ball and no strikes. Eric Young, a switch hitter, .455 hitter to start off this season. He's been getting hits in every single game so far, and he's also been stealing bases. The next pitch to Young will be foul, first base side. Defensively for the Angels, Ben Johnson behind the plate, Chris Walston at first, Billy Boyer at second base, Ryan Leahy at short, and Nate Sutton at 3rd. Cliff Rimali in left, Felix Nunez in center, and J.R. Renz in right field. Eric Young will take a pitch high, 2-1 the count. Eric Young, the son of the Rockies and the Cubs and the Dodgers ex-player Eric Young Sr. His father stealing nearly 500 bases in his big league career. And it's funny because his son plays the exact same kind of baseball that his dad played. The 2-2 pitch, Cordova waiting, here it comes. Ground ball to the shortstop. Ryan Leahy will come up with it. Good throw to first. A pick by Walton, and Eric Young grounds out for out number 1. Dustin Hahn now makes his way to the plate. And I was going to mention, as far as fathers and sons playing big league baseball, it's not always common. If you look at Anthony Gwynn and Tony Gwynn, completely different body types. And even though they're both slap shot hitters, Anthony Gwynn and Tony Gwynn are pretty different. First pitch to Dustin Hahn. He'll check his swing, but he does get a piece of it as it fouls down the 3rd base side. Hahn from the left. 0-1 the count. Dustin Hahn from Reno, Nevada, played at Sacramento City College, where he hit .390. This one floated into left field. Should be a base hit, and it will drop right in front of Cliff Romali. So Dustin Hahn going the opposite field. That puts a runner on base with 1 out. And Seth Smith making his professional debut out of Ole Miss. The 50th overall pick in the 2004 amateur draft. Seth Smith from the left side. Francisco Cordova delivering. This one's going to be grounded right to Leahy at short. He's got to hurry up. It's a short hop, high throw, but he gets him out. And there are 2 gone. So Seth Smith, in his first swing as a professional, hits it on top of the ball, rolls it to the shortstop. And there are 2 outs. Dustin Hahn does advance to second base. Ryan Fox, the hero last night. A 2-run homer and an RBI double in Game 1 of the doubleheader. And then in Game 2 of the doubleheader, he was responsible for 4 of the 5 runs. He scored 3 runs, also that 2-run homer. Ryan Fox, this is a guy who hit .175 in the Northwest League with Tri-City last season. Fox will swing through the pitch, 0-1. He did have 8 home runs last year in short season A ball, but he actually took a step down, not a step up. And that's one reason why his numbers might be a little better down here for now. Another ground ball to Leahy. He'll take it on a short hop, but he's got a good spin as he throws over to first and is able to get Ryan Fox. So Leahy gets all the outs himself this inning. We head to the top of the second, no score, and the Provo Angels coming up. Top of the second inning, Nate Sutton, Caleb Mayer, and Jordan Renz, J.R. Renz, the batters here in Casper, Wyoming. It's a beautiful evening. The sun is shining, blue skies. The shadows starting to make their way back behind home plate, and baseball is getting ready to be played. It's interesting because every single day throughout this 5-game series, weather has been an issue. The first game, Friday, it was 38 degrees and rainy, so they couldn't play. Saturday's game, it was wet during the contest. They were able to play the game, but it was cold and they were battling the elements. And then yesterday's contest, we had a 1 hour and 30-minute wind delay. So every single day the weather has been a little different. Today, though, we're expecting normal summertime weather as it is sunshiny as Nate Sutton makes his way to the bat. Nate Sutton out of UC Santa Barbara, he scored 71 runs on 64 hits for UC Santa Barbara, and that obviously helped him get drafted by the Angels, and he begins his professional career. Sutton from the left side, Pedro Chavigi with the first pitch, and that'll be over the plate for strike number 1. Nate Sutton, a 24th-round draft pick, good speed, as Tom Kochman has made him the third baseman. Him and Andrew Toussaint will be sharing that position. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nate Sutton played game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday and had some great at-bats. The 1-1 offering is going to skip away from Ryan Fox. 2 balls and 1 strike. He was able to force a walk in the very first inning of game 1 yesterday. With the bases loaded, he brought home a run. And then in the third inning, with 2 outs on the board, Nate Sutton fouled off 5 pitches, worked himself out of a 1-ball, 2-strike jam, filled up the count, made it on base, and eventually started a rally for the Angels. Grounder right up the middle, Nate Sutton with the base hit, nearly knocking Pedro Chavigi over. And Sutton picks up his second hit in 3 official at-bats as an Angel, because his last at-bat in game 1 yesterday was a line drive single. So Sutton with the base hit to open up this frame, and Caleb Mayer now digs in. Mayer played at Low A Cedar Rapids last season, where he was a .233 hitter with 7 home runs. And Mayer has been sent down to Provo just to hone some of his skills. He was a little bit hurt last season, so they figured they'd start him off here and see what happens. The first pitch will be outside, 1-0 to Mayer. Nate Sutton with good speed at first base. He stole 27 with UC Santa Barbara. More stolen bases than any other Provo Angel batter stole this year. And Sutton in the 5 spot. He's waiting at first. Shaviji, the pitcher, getting set. Here it comes. Sutton is going. Swung on and missed. Good throw by Fox, and is going to skip right in front of Eric Young, who applies the tag. A beautiful throw by Ryan Fox. He actually threw that ball well in front of the second base, or more towards the first base bag. But Eric Young was right there to recover. Had Sutton been a step quicker, he might have had that one, but a strong throw by Fox. Sutton is caught stealing for out number 1, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Caleb Mayer. Inside, 2-1. The Provo Angels, the advanced rookie league team for the Anaheim Angels, and Mesa is right below Provo. So, in order of classifications, Mesa would be right below Provo, and Cedar Rapids above them. Mayer with a line drive single past the shortstop, Jeff Dragisevich, and Caleb is on base with the single. So, interesting how sometimes a runner gets caught stealing, and then the very next batter gets a base hit. And that happens quite a bit. Mayer, though, most likely won't try to steal as he's at first base. And Jordan Renz now the batter. Jordan Renz, a 4th-round draft pick in 2002. A 244 hitter in 2 seasons. Jordan Renz batting from the right side. Top of the second inning, no score. Pedro Shaviji waits, and he'll step off the rubber, looking Caleb Mayer back to first. Mayer not necessarily a type of guy that's going to steal on you, but you never know. Here comes the pitch. Shaviji, little fly ball into right field. Smith went in, and he had to turn around and go back, and he'll make the catch on the run, and now getting back to first base is Mayer as he took off on the pitch. Jordan Renz flies out to the opposite field, and Seth Smith making his first catch as a professional. 2 gone. Chris Walston from San Diego, California digs in. I had a chance to talk with Walston before the game started, and obviously from the same hometown as myself. And Chris Walston said, you know, it was interesting playing 2 years in Mesa because you really didn't play in front of anybody. It took him about a year and a half to adjust and to get used to playing it professionally. They'll take a strike, nothing in 1. But Chris Walston, a good athlete, stands about 6'5", 6'6", a 34.5-ounce Louisville slugger in his hands. Runner at first. Here's the pitch by Shaviji. Outside, snap throw to first, and Mayer will get back safely. 1-1. And we were looking at Chris Walston's numbers, and 155 strikeouts in 348 pro at-bats. Kind of makes you grind your teeth. But you look at the fact that he does stand 6'5", 6'6", and that means he has a pretty big strike zone. So pitchers are going to get more called strikes on him than a normal batter. The pitch looped into left field, and it's going to be caught by Dustin Haas. So Walston does a good piece of hitting. It's line, but it's right into the glove of the left fielder. That'll end the inning. We head to the bottom of the second, no score, and the Casper Rockies coming up.
This is Mike from Mossholders, and we're a proud sponsor of the Casper Rockies and the best seats in the house. Mossholders has the largest selection of recliners in Wyoming with the best name brand. So some lucky fan can enjoy the game from comfortable lane recliners. And after the game, come down to Mossholders for the Casper Rockies buy one, get one free special. And who are the lucky winners of the best seats in the house today?
Tonight's winner is Donald Wagner. Come on down to our seats located in front of section 103. You just moved to the best seats in the house, courtesy of Mossholders. Now it's time for La Casina Rock and Roll Trivia. For some of the best rock and Mexican food around, visit La Casina. Tonight's question is, the following group recently announced a breakup due to unresolved differences. Can you name the group? We'll have the answer a little later. For a rock and fajita tonight, try a ballpark fajita right here tonight at La Casina booth located between sections 101 and 102. Next time you want great food and relaxed atmosphere, hang loose at La Casina on North Center. Special thanks goes out to Coliseum Motors, your Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep dealer, now located at 6101 East 2nd in Murray Business Park. Coliseum Motors is still Casper's car corner, serving Casper, the great state of Wyoming, since 1914. Thanks for supporting our Casper Rockies.
Back out here in Casper, Wyoming, bottom of the second, Mike Davies, Kyle Wilson, and Jeff Dragisevich are the batters. No score. Francisco Cordova on the mound for the Provo Angels. First pitch by Cordova will be lined up the middle, so Mike Davies doing the same thing he did last night, and that's getting a line drive base hit. Of course, last night's base hit by Davies brought home the winning run as the Rockies completed the doubleheader sweep yesterday. So Davies singles through the middle, and Kyle Wilson now steps up. Kyle Wilson batting from the right side. Davies at first base. First pitch by Cordova will be popped foul down the right field side, 0-1. Kyle Wilson from the right, a good athlete. Wilson from Fresno State, played with the Bulldogs. He's up in Santa Maria, California. Good old Bulldogs. Wilson waits. Francisco Cordova gets the sign from Ben Johnson, and here it is. Breaking pitch, cuts the outside part of the plate, 0-2. Angel fans, if you're looking to come out to the ballpark, go ahead and give us a call, 377-2255. Get your tickets. Maybe you got a group you want to bring out to the ballpark. If you have a group of 25 or more, you're going to get in for $5 a ticket. It's a great deal. Bring your group out, and you'll get announced over the electronic scoreboard and our PA system. 377-2255. Here's the 2-2 pitch over the head of the second baseman, Billy Boyer, and that'll land in right field for a clean single. So back-to-back base hits. Mike Davies had to stop at second, and Kyle Wilson in his first ever at-bat as a Rocky singles. Jeff Dragisevich digs in. 2 men on base, no outs. Dragisevich is 1 for 10 with the Casper Rockies this year, and he was a .255 hitter at UC Berkeley. Dragisevich was drafted because of his glove. A great shortstop at UC Berkeley, and he's got decent speed, and the Rockies saw that in him, and they figured, hey, we can always use a good shortstop. So Dragisevich from the right. A ground ball would be huge right here. First pitch going to be a strike at the knees and away from the right-hander. 0-1. Francisco Cordova has got himself in a little bit of a jam right here as the infielders all on their toes. Cordova's pitch again on the outside part of the plate, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes. So Cordova working away from the right-hander, and just in case Dragisevich was to lunge and get a piece of it, he'd hit it on the end of the bat, and it would be a roller. The 0-2 pitch outside again, and it's going to be fouled back to keep the count at 0-2. So 377-2255, that's the number to call for your Angel tickets. Go ahead and visit us on ProvoAngels.com and get all your ticket information and find out just what your Provo Angels are up to. Here's the 0-2, breaking ball outside, and the umpire behind the pitcher's mound says he did not swing. 1-2. I'm used to seeing the first base umpire or the third base umpire, but there's only 2 umpires in this contest. No outs. Cordova, can he work his way out of this jam? Breaking pitch, again outside, and this one will even things up at 2-2. And one of the great things about playing at the rookie league level is a lot of these pitchers have to learn how to work their way out of this situation. So instead of the pitcher sweating this, he actually loves this. Fly ball into right field. Jordan Wren's going to run over, make the play on the foul line, and that'll be out number 1. So Dragisevich popping it up to the opposite field where J.R. Wren's is at for out number 1. Well, what I was saying was sometimes pitchers tend to find themselves in situations, they get stressed out, they start losing their location, Next thing you know, the pitching coach has to come out, calm them down. It happens a lot in baseball, but at the rookie league level, they actually want their guys to learn how to pitch through it, to control their emotions, to really mentally get psyched for things. And that's one reason why Cordova is such a strong pitcher and that he's able to do that. Rob Hosgood from the left. Here it comes, inside, 1-0. Runner at second base and a runner at first. One out on the board. Bottom of the second inning, no score between the Angels and the Rockies. Home plate umpire allowing Hosgood to call time as he gets himself situated in the left-handed batter's box. Knees bent, close to the plate. Here's the pitch, and he'll pop this one foul down the left field side and out of play as a bunch of kids go chasing it. The ballpark here in Casper, Wyoming, Mike Lansing Field, is situated pretty unique. It's actually a part of a bigger field. It looks like there's a bunch of grass fields around the ballpark. Parks out over the left field wall. Speaking of left field, pop fly to Cliff Romoli in left, and he'll get underneath it for 2 outs. So Francisco Cordova forcing Jeff Dragisevich and Rob Hosgood to get underneath his pitch. Quickly, 2 outs, and the runners have to stay put.
All right, fans, let's hear it loud for number 1, Stephen Ball.
And then beyond the left field wall, behind the park, behind a river that flows and a bunch of trees, there's some hills, which looks like it'd be pretty fun to go ride motorcycles on. Casper, Wyoming, a place where they saddle up. A lot of cowboys out here, a lot of rodeo folks, a lot of cattle. But it looks like a pretty exciting state. 1 ball, no strikes to Stephen Boggs, a switch hitter. He'll foul this ball down the left field side, and it'll even things up at 1-1. What an experience this must be for a lot of these ball players who are either drafted out of high school or played junior college or just stayed in the regions they're used to. They've never played in these sort of situations. Popper right to the catcher, but it's going to be foul as it bounces on the foul side of the plate. That'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. But a lot of these guys have never been up this north. A lot of them have never experienced the country. And so not only are they playing professional baseball, but they're kind of getting a history lesson, a geographical lesson of the United States and getting to visit and meet different kind of folks. 1 ball, 2 strikes, swung on and missed. And look at Cordova. After giving up 2 base hits to open up the inning, he gets the next 3 men out. 2 men are stranded. We head to the top of the third. The Angels and the Rockies scoreless here at Mike Lansing Field.
Are you ready? On your marks. Get set. Go! Got up for on. Go with your end. Put her on, folks. Congratulations. Thanks, Burger King and fans. Be sure to visit one of your 3 Casper area Burger King stores today.
Back out here at Mike Lansing Field in Casper, Wyoming. The Angels and the Rockies are scoreless. This is game 4 of the series, and what a beautiful day it's turned out to be. This morning it was raining. A lot of us were walking around in the rain and the drizzle. The team actually had a workout scheduled for 12:30 this morning, or 12:30 in the afternoon in the ballpark, but they had to cancel it because it was raining so much. No score. Let's go ahead and look over the big league scoreboard. There are 5 games which will go on today. 2 of them are right now in progress. The Cleveland Indians and the Chicago White Sox, 2 teams which are fighting and duking it out for that American League Central crown. And the Indians are leading the White Sox by a score of 4-1. Ronnie Belliard with the home run and Casey Blake with the home run. Aaron Rowan has hit a home run for the Chicago White Sox. It is 4-1 in the top of the 6th. Ryan Leahy, swing and a miss at the first pitch here in the top of the 3rd. 0-1. It'll be Ryan Leahy, Billy Boyer, and Cliff Romoli. In the bottom of the 5th, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Houston Astros playing at Minute Maid Park. The Pirates lead that game 4-0. Next pitch by Shaviji will be fouled off, 0-2. Ryan Leahy, a free agent pickup by the Angels, a .305 career hitter at Boston College. So here's another guy who's an East Coast boy experiencing the Midwest. The 0-2 pitch by Shaviji will be high and over Ryan Leahy's head, and luckily Leahy stands at 5'9". Had that been Chris Walson, might have plunked him in the head. But it was just a breaking ball that got away from him. Leahy is out number 1. Billy Boyer, a switch hitter. He played a few weeks this year with the Salt Lake Stingers. Only had 10 at-bats up in AAA, as the Stingers needed a lot of help as Sean Figgins went back up to the big leagues, and just a lot of different moves were being made in AAA Salt Lake. They decided, let's call Boyer up. He did okay defensively. He was 0 for 10, like I mentioned, and the first pitch will be a ball, 1-0. Well, Billy Boyer, the only guy on this team who can say he's been higher than high A ball. Shaviji set, here it comes, and it is going to be on the outside part of the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll also look over Baseball America's prospect list and let you know the top guys in minor league baseball, get you set up for the future of this wonderful game, and what guys here have a good look for the big leagues. The 1-1 to Boyer. Inside, it'll push him off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. The shadows are now just about covering the home plate area, as Billy Boyer is below the waist, he's in the shadows. Above the waist, he's in the sunlight, and the catcher is completely in the shadows. Shaviji delivering, and outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Billy Boyer, who has 3 extra base hits already, more than the rest of the team combined. Shaviji, a very good strikeout to walk ratio. Here it comes. It'll be high, and there's a walk, so Boyer will head over to first base. That'll be the first walk given up by Shaviji in the game. And Cliff Romoli digs in. Romoli, a very good hitter at Georgia Tech. Reached on a fielder's choice last inning. Try to see if he can hit the ball. Pull it down that first base side, because the first baseman, Mike Davies, is holding him on the bag. Pops it up in the air, but it'll drift foul, 0-1. Yesterday we made a mistake because Romoli wasn't officially on the list. And when the lineups were filled out in Game 1 yesterday, we had mentioned that it was J.R. Renz hitting third, not Romoli. But in fact, it was Romoli. And Romoli hit the first ever home run for the Provo Angels this year. No balls and 1 strike. Shaviji taking his time, getting the sign from Ryan Fox. And he'll tap his foot a couple times. Here's the pitch. Grounder, foul down the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes. A decent amount of fans here at Mike Lansing Field. Of course, this is Rookie League Baseball, so you're not going to get the large crowds like you would at High A, Double A, Triple A. Boyer at first, decent speed. Shaviji said, here it is, outside, and Romoli will plunge and get a piece of it to keep the count even at 0-2. Don't forget to log on to ProvoAngels.com for all your Angels information. Or you can log on to FutureAngels.com and find out what's going on in the Angels system. A great website. Check it out. Plenty of good articles posted daily. Nothing and to Romoli in the hole. Here it is. And it's going to break outside 1-2. Cliff Romoli, good numbers at Georgia Tech. 89 hits in 65 games. An 11th round draft pick by the Angels. Shaviji will throw over to first, and Boyer will be back safely. Drop me an email at jpeters@provoangels.com, and we can read some of those emails over the air. We'll have some trivia questions a little later on. If you have any comments, if you have any neat info about your kids who are playing with the Angels, go ahead and let me know. We'd love to mention anything on the air that we can. That's jpeters@provoangels.com, where we can read those over the air. One ball, 2 strikes. Cliff Romoli waits. Here's the next pitch. Fly ball into left field. Dustin Hahn will move over towards the foul line in left, and he'll make the play. 2 outs. Boyer has to hold at first base. And it's going to be the 3-hitter, Felix Nunez, digging in. We'd like to thank the Provo Angels front office for all the wonderful things and the wonderful ways that they have made this a wonderful beginning to a 2004 season. They've worked so hard to make sure groups are at the ballpark, to make sure clients are happy, the fans are involved, the media is ready to be involved with the team. A lot of great guys, a lot of great people in that Angels front office that we should pat their backs for. And when you see them on Wednesday in the opening game this season for the Angels, be sure to pat them on the back and tell them that they're doing a good job. They deserve it. Nunez was foul a ball down the right field side, 0-1. I'd like to thank Dave Jacobson, first of all, the GM. He's been stressing out. There's a lot that goes into running a baseball team, and I'm sure he's learning just like the rest of us are. And he's worked so hard. He's worked long hours to make this a memorable season. The Angels' last season at Larry H. Miller Field. No balls and a strike. Fly ball into right field. Should drop foul, and it will, as the first baseman, Mike Davies, gives it chase, but it's out of his reach. 0-2. The Angels move into the new ballpark in October, or thereabouts in October. And the Angels will open up the 2005 season in their beautiful 4,000-seat stadium located right off the 276 exit and the 15 freeway in Orem. So this is definitely the season to come out and catch all the action before it's time to be in the new park. Nunez will swing and miss. That'll end the inning. So Pedro Shaviji continues scoreless through the first 2.5 innings. We head to the bottom of the third, and the Rockies coming up. Back out here at Mike Lansing Field, home of the Casper Rockies. It's game 4 of this 5-game set between the Angels and the Rockies. The Idaho Fall Chuckers take on the Ogden Raptors today in Ogden. Great Falls is up in Billings, Montana. Provo Angels obviously here in Casper, and the Missoula Osprey in Helena. Last night, the Billings Mustangs defeated the Helena Brewers 15-7 in a 3-hour game. Missoula Osprey shut down the Great Fall White Sox 7-0, and the Idaho Fall Chuckers defeated the Ogden Raptors 16-10. So there was a lot of high scoring going on last night. Today things have changed around a little bit as Idaho Falls is now in Ogden, and Great Falls is up in Billings. Eric Young, Dustin Hahn, and Seth Smith, the batters. Francisco Cordova getting the sign from Ben Johnson. First pitch, bunt shown. Good bunt to third base, but it was bunted pretty hard. Nate Sutton will make a good throw to first, and Eric Young is out. Bunted that ball kind of hard, and Sutton, the good third baseman that he is, was able to charge it and make a strong throw. Eric Young is out number 1, and now Dustin Hahn digs in. If you're still looking to buy season tickets for the Provo Angels, they're still on sale. $250 if you're looking to get a Superbox ticket. That's the field level seating. If you'd like to get a reserved season ticket up near the press box, it's $185 for the entire season. First pitch to Hahn will be a good breaking ball over the plate. 0-1. Dustin singled in the first inning, reached second, but was stranded on 3 groundouts. Next pitch by Cordova, softly tapped up the middle. Cordova put his bare hand out, but it went right past him. So Hahn is 2 for 2 today with a single through the middle. 1 out on the board, and it's Seth Smith who will make his second professional at-bat. And if you're Seth Smith, you're not going to swing in the first pitch like you did in the first inning. Seth Smith got on top of the pitch in the first and grounded it to short. And this will be his second ever professional at-bat as he begins his climb through the Colorado Rockies system. Cordova, who throws to first to keep Dustin Hahn close. And obviously the reason why is because he's going to try to force Seth Smith to hit one on the ground to his second baseman and try to turn that 4-6-3 double play. Smith from the left side. Here's the pitch. It's going to be away from him. 1 ball, no strikes. Seth Smith, 6'3", 215 pounds. And this pitch will be high. 2 balls and no strikes. The Skyline report on Smith. He's got a large frame, broad shoulders, defined waist. He's got proportioned arms and legs, which basically means he has an excellent athletic build. His hitting approach is very similar to Dave Magnin, the ex-New York Met ball player. That's a little bit of what the scouting report says. Fly ball into the gap of right center. That one will roll all the way back to the warning track. Center fielder Felix Nunez will have to get a piece of it. Dustin Hahn comes all the way from first base and will score. So Seth Smith, in his second at-bat as a professional, floats this one into the gap of right center, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Well, Smith just waited on it, waited for the pitch, drove it, and nobody was there to recover it. It's an RBI double, and the Rockies now lead 1-0. Ryan Fox, the hero last night, steps up. Fox, with 3 RBIs in the first game, was responsible for 4 runs in the second. Grounded out to short in his first at-bat today. The shadows are now completely covering the batter, the catcher, and the umpire. And the pitcher, Francisco Cordova, is still in the sunlight. Fox will take a pitch, 0-1. And the interesting thing about that at-bat by Seth Smith was the ball was coming from the sunlight into the shadows, but he was still able to make a good, solid connection with it. 0-1. And ball gets away on the outside part of the plate. Even things up. Bottom of the third inning, the Rockies lead this game 1-0. Francisco Cordova getting set. And he'll toss one high and inside to Fox, 2-1. Cordova pushing Fox off the plate, and I'm going to say that was intentional because Fox last night really stuck it to the Angels. And as a pitcher, you want to send a message. So you throw it inside and push him off that plate. The 2-1 pitch, again inside, 3-1. Ryan Fox, a 175 hitter with the Tri-City Dust Devils last season. And he'll take a pitch outside. He'll run over to first base with a one-out walk, and that puts a runner on first and second. That's not necessarily a bad walk right there, because if you figure things out with one out on the board, you want to have a guy on first, because a ground ball can be turned into a double play. Zeke Zimmerman, the pitching coach for the Provo Angels, takes a stroll out to the mound as he gets set to talk with Francisco Cordova. Again, a couple of the games that went on last night in the Angels system, there were some good games. Cedar Rapids, they were able to beat the Peoria Chiefs in Peoria, Illinois, by a score of 3-2 in 10 innings. It was ex-Provo Angels slugger Bobby Wilson who hit his 5th home run of the season in that game, and also brought home the winning run in the 10th inning. Cedar Rapids defeat the Peoria Chiefs 3-2 last night, and they are now getting ready to go to their All-Star break. Cordova's pitch lined into left field, but on the run is Chris Romali, who will make the play no problem. A good piece of hitting by Mike Davies going the opposite field, but it was right at Romali, who just had to run over towards the line a bit. 2 outs on the board, and now Kyle Wilson will come in. Wilson singled in his first at-bat of the game. It's a 1-0 Casper Rockies lead. And again, we appreciate you listening to SportsJuice.com and catching all the Angels action. Wilson waits, and he's going to take a pitch low, 1-0. Tomorrow's game will be a 7:05 start, and as soon as that contest is over, the Angels jump on the bus, take an 8-hour trip home, and get ready to take on the Idaho Fall Chuckers the very next day. 2 balls and no strikes to Wilson. And I'm sure a lot of these players have been on some crazy bus rides before. These midnight gotta-drink coffee bus rides. Wilson takes another pitch low and outside. 3 balls and no strikes. It's not like having the luxury, though, of being in the big leagues or even AAA ball where we got to fly from city to city. The 3-0 high and outside, and Kyle Wilson heads over to first base, and now the bases are loaded for the number 7 hitter, Jeff Dragisevich, who's 1 for 11 as a Casper Rocky. Dragisevich from the right side, and I bet Zeke Zimmerman, the pitching coach for the Provo Angels, is pumping his fist right now saying, this is what I want. I want to see my pitchers get out of this sort of a jam. Cordova, first pitch to Dragisevich, low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. There's nowhere to put him, and Francisco Cordova going to try to work the inner and outer part of the plates right here and see if Dragisevich will chase anything. The 1-0 high and tight again, 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the third, the Rockies with a 1-0 lead as they scored a run on a Seth Smith line drive double. The bases are loaded right now with 2 outs on the board. 2 balls and no strikes to the Rockies shortstop. Cordova's set, and this one will be high, 3-0. Well, now, if you're Jeff Dragisevich, all you got to do is kick back, tell yourself, I want to hit a fastball outside. If it's not a fastball outside, don't swing at it. Most likely, Dragisevich can work something in his favor. Here it is, high and tight. Wasn't the pitch he wanted. He heads over to first base. That brings home a Rockies run. Colorado now leads 2-0 as Seth Smith crosses the plate. Rob Osgood digs in from the left. Chris Walson, the first baseman, heads over to the pitcher's mound just to give him a high five and say, it's okay, go get him. Osgood flew out to left field in his first at-bat of the game. He's the designated hitter. Osgood went to Central Connecticut State University, and he's from Clifton Park, New York, another East Coast boy. He'll take a pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Central Connecticut, only a ferry ride, as he was living in Clifton Park in Long Island. Very familiar with that area. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, this one will be inside, 2-0. Bottom of the third, the Rockies have put 2 runs on the board as they lead this contest. The Angels are probably thinking to themselves, what is happening? Last year, the Angels took 14-15 against the Rockies. The Rockies look like a different team as the pitch is high, 3-0. No activity going on in the Angels bullpen. And a 3-0 count to Osgood. If something happens right here when this man gets on base, I'm sure Zeke Zimmerman will call to the bullpen to have them warm up. Inside part of the plate, 3-1 count. This Provo Angels staff, the coaching staff that is, they're intense. They demand a lot from their players. 3 balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, swung on and missed. That's the way to get him. Fills things up, and now Francisco Cordova has the advantage because he has thrown 2 straight strikes, and he's got that in the back of Osgood's mind. Ryan Fox at third, Kyle Wilson at second, Jeff Dragisevich at first. 8-2-0 Rockies lead. Here's the payoff pitch. Hard fly ball down the right field line. There's no doubt about that one. Over the fence, a grand slam by Rob Osgood. The Rockies now lead 6-0. A full count. There was nowhere to put that pitch. And Rob Osgood took a step back, delivered, and it's now a 6-0 Rockies lead. What a shot. Rob Osgood pulled that ball as it probably bounced over into the river out beyond right field. A grand slam, and it is now 6-0. And I'm sure Francisco would have liked that pitch back. Stephen Boggs at the bat, and he takes a strike. 0-1. Stephen Boggs from San Diego, California, went to Grossmont College. Cordova throwing it outside. It is a 1-1 count. These are the type of situation that you hope your pitcher can get themselves out of, but yeah, Francisco definitely did get himself out of it. He gave up the grand slam, and it's now 6-0. And Boggs will swing through this pitch, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rob Osgood showing off the lumber. The 1-2, swung on and missed. Stephen Boggs heads back with a strikeout. That'll end the inning. We head to the top of the 4th, though. The Rockies scoring 6 runs. It's a 6-0 game. We'll be back after this break. 39? Good.
And here for you is the number 39, Shane Lindsay. It's time for the Casper Two Shot Coffee and Roll. This coffee roll is brought to you by Casper's Heated Air Conditioning. Casper Two Shot.
Top of the fourth inning, Ben Johnson, Nate Sutton, and Caleb Mayer, the batters. As new pitcher for the Casper Rockies, it's Shane Lindsay on the mound. 6'1", 205 pounds, from Melbourne, Australia. Well, Shane Lindsay, who was a free agent in 2003, will take his shots here. First pitch to Ben Johnson, going to be outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Casper Rockies lead this game by a score of 6-0. And the Angels waiting. It's early in the season. They still have a lot of adjusting to do. Johnson crosses the plane 1-1. And I guess we can make excuses if we wanted to. But we'll just leave it at the simple fact that it's early. The Angels are adjusting. A lot of these guys are getting used to playing every day with the wood bat. It'll probably take a couple weeks before they get on the roll. Johnson from the University of Washington. Here it comes, and that one will be a fastball right down the middle, a ball and 2 strikes. We'll get some baseball trivia for you in just one moment. You can drop me emails at jpeters@provoangels.com. A ball and 2 strikes, high fly ball. Seth Smith in right field has to go back, and that one is over the fence. Ben Johnson hitting his first home run of the year. He now has a single, a double, and a home run. Ben Johnson opens up this inning, teeing off against Shane Lindsay, who throws his first pitch in the 2004 season, or faces his first batter in the 2004 season, and it ends up being a solo shot for Ben Johnson. So way to go for Ben, and it's now Nate Sutton digging in. Sutton with a line drive single in the second inning, but was caught stealing. He shows bunt, but he'll pull back and he'll take a ball high, 1-0. Nate from the left side. Here it comes, and it'll be high, 2 balls and no strikes. The Anaheim Angels, or California Angels, or Los Angeles Angels, everything they've been known as, they've been a part of Southern California since 1962. Drop me an email. Let me know the all-time Angels career batting leader. The 3-0 pitch is on the outside part of the plate, 3-1 to Nate Sutton. So drop me an email, jpeters@provoangels.com. We'll see if we can get you a couple tickets to opening night. Ball skips away. Nate Sutton heads over to first base with a walk. Nate has had a total of 6 plate appearances. And in those 6 plate appearances, he has 2 base hits. 3 of them are walks. 1 of them is a strikeout looking. So he's been on base 5 of his first 6 times as a professional. Caleb Mayer digs in. Hit a line drive single in the second. He'll take a strike, 0-1. But again, the trivia question is, name the all-time batting leader, the highest batting average for an Angel batter. In fact, there's only one who has a career average over 300. That's a good hint. Mayer takes one over the plate, 0-2. Top of the fourth, the Casper Rockies with a 6-1 lead, as Ben Johnson opened up this inning with a solo shot. Mayer from the right, and he'll foul this one back to the screen on the end of his bat, 0-2. The Anaheim Angels are taking on the Oakland A's later on tonight, and we'll get you set up for all that action. Swung through. Caleb Mayer will sit down with a strikeout. So Shane Lindsay working a pitch on the outside part of the plate. Mayer's out number 1. And now J.R. Renz digs in. That Oakland A's Anaheim Angels game just getting started at Angels Stadium as John Lackey takes the mound for the Angels against Tim Harden. Also in the first inning, the Arizona Diamondbacks in lovely San Diego taking on the Pods. The ball skips away from Ryan Fox as it bounces just in front of the dirt. Bounces off of Fox's mitt. Looks like it will be a wild pitch, but we'll wait and see what the official scoring is on that one. So Sutton will take second base. J.R. Renz from the right side. He was a fourth-round draft pick in 2002. A .241 hitter in 2 minor league seasons. Hit a fly ball to right field in his first at-bat. He's got a runner in scoring position right here. Lindsay's pitch outside. The ball does drop out of the glove of Ryan Fox, but Nate Sutton stays at second. The Angels open up in Provo on June 23rd, Wednesday, a couple days away from opening night. We're going to have fireworks, free massages. Bands are going to be playing at the ballpark. Renz with the foul ball back. We're going to be giving out magnet schedules. It's going to be Winnie Wednesday, so you get 2 hot dogs for $1. A lot of great things going on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's just going to be a whole festival going on. So get on out to the ballpark. Purchase your tickets anytime during the week. Ticket offices are open at Larry H. Miller Field. Renz fouls one back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Angels have enjoyed their time in Wyoming. Don't get us wrong. Even though the weather has been very difficult, the Angels have enjoyed it out here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second. 1 out on the board, and the pitch will be low and outside. It'll fill things up at 3-2. A 6-1 Casper Rockies lead here on SportsJuice.com. Giving you all the Angels action when the team's on the road and when the team is home. 3-2. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Jordan Renz strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Shane Lindsay.
Here is now just $2 for the next 10 minutes, courtesy of the Beacon Club.
So Sutton still at second base, and it's going to be Chris Walston digging in. Walston from the right side. He's one of the bigger ball players on this Angels team. The guy's got a good heart. He's always smiling. Shane Lindsay, the righty, getting set. Here's the pitch, and it'll be on the outside part of the plate. 0-1. So Chris Walston broke the California state record with 23 home runs at El Cap. High and tight, 1-1. Was a draft pick, obviously, by the Angels. And this is his first season playing in Provo. Actually gets to play in front of a good amount of fans now. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. In Mesa, even though it is the Arizona League, a lot of players who play at that rookie level, they don't play in front of a crowd. It's more of an instructional league. You don't get large crowds that show up. Maybe 20 folks will be watching a game on any given night. So obviously it's a little interesting that these guys get to play in front of people. The ball skips away again. It looks like that one will be a pass ball as it bounces off the glove of Ryan Fox. And Sutton will take third base. 3 balls and 1 strike to big Chris Walston. This is definitely a hitter's count right here. Let's see what he can do for us. A runner at third. It's a 6-1 Rockies lead here in the top of the 4th. Chris Walston now playing in front of 1,000-plus fans. He'll be playing in front of 1,000-plus fans at least every night this season, if not more. 3 balls, 1 strike, runner at third. Lindsay's pitch outside, and just getting a piece of it is Walston as he fouls it off. Fills things up at 3-2. He's checking his bat to make sure he didn't crack it, as he did hit it on the inside part of the bat. Walston with a full count against him. A big guy. He was taking some good hacks in batting practice earlier. Let's see what he can do here. Here's the pitch. Gets a piece of it. Grounds it to the second baseman, though. Eric Young bobbles it momentarily, but will come up and make the play at first. So Walston grounds out to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Rockies on top, 6-1. We'll be back as you're listening to SportsJuice.com.
Kelly has given up some great prizes from BioLife Plasma, so make some noise if you want a prize. Think of BioLife Plasma when you want a little more stuff in your life. It's time to pull out the Lucky Souvenir Game Programs for a couple of lucky autographs. Turn to the Fajita Cantina ad on page 38. Your ad is signed by Ryan Fox. You have won a great prize from Fajita Cantina. Also check the Parkway Plaza ad on page 2. Either ad is signed by Ryan Fox. Go to the information booth to claim your prize. Be sure to hang on to your tickets. Burger King is offering a great deal for you. Simply bring your ticket in at any Casper and Burger King for $1 off on value meal or a gift meal. That's some serious savings. Details on the back of your ticket stub. Get down to your Burger King today for a value meal at a really great price. Thanks, Burger King, for supporting your Casper Rockies. Now pitching for the Provo Angels, number 34, Frederick Martin.
Mike Lansing Field, bottom of the fourth inning. It's going to be Eric Young, Dustin Hahn, and Seth Smith to take their at-bats against Frederick Carney, who makes his first appearance this season for the Provo Angels. Frederick Carney from Norwalk, Connecticut, drafted in the 33rd round out of Regis University in Colorado. So Frederick Carney, right-hander, stands at 6'3", 220 pounds. As Carney will take on the 1, 2, 3 hitters, 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Casper Rockies. Eric Young Jr., he's 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. But he's been a hitting machine for the Casper Rockies, getting on base, making things happen. He led off last inning but grounded out. First pitch to Young. He'll take it high. 1 ball and no strikes. Frederick Carney, his first ever professional start, or I should say appearance. Try saying that 5 times as Eric Young takes a strike, 1-1. About 16 pitches on this Provo Angels staff. Quite a few to carry. Young will foul this one into the dugouts. 1-2 the count. It's a 6-1 Casper Rockies lead. They scored all 6 of their runs in the 3rd inning thanks to a Rob Hosgood grand slam. 1-2. Carney, the right-hander, set inside as Eric Young has to move out of the way just a bit. Evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 377-2255, that's the number to call if you're looking to bring a group out to the ballpark, get things set up for a barbecue. $15 per head for a barbecue, that's all you can eat. So you get your admission into the ballpark, you get hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, all the cookings, and a mention over the PA announcement. But you have to have a group of 25 or more to get that barbecue deal. Eric Young fouls another pitch back, and it keeps things at 2-2. Also, if you're looking to do some advertising with the Provo Angels, whether you're thinking about maybe getting a billboard, bringing your booth down to the ballpark and setting up, give me a call at 735-5496 as I can help you get involved with the Angels. Eric Young takes a breaking pitch at the knees, and it is strikeout number 1 here in the 4th inning. Young is retired. He's 0 for 3 today, and Dustin Hahn digs in.
Let's hear it for number 23, Dustin Hahn.
But the Angels have plenty of great advertising opportunities for you and your company. Call us up and we can help you out. Hahn from the left side, first pitch, lifted up into center field. Felix Nunez has to chase all the way back. Is he going to make the play? No, he won't. As it bounces on the warning track and off the wall, he quickly gets the ball into the infield. So Nunez did give it a chase. It looks like he almost had the ball, but that would have made him Felix Willie Mays Nunez, because that was going to be an over-the-shoulder catch. So Dustin Hahn doubles into center field. He's 3 for 3 today.
And stomp your feet for your number 2 draft pick, Seth Smith.
Seth Smith. A line drive double in the 3rd inning. That basically started the rally in the scoring frenzy. And Frederick Carney, the right-hander, he realizes he's facing the 50th overall pick. Let's see how he chooses to attack him. Here it comes, and the first pitch is going to skip away from Ben Johnson, and Dustin Hahn will take third base. So it looks like that was a wild pitch as it bounced in front of Johnson, but we'll get an official scoring on it. 1-0 to Seth. 6-1 Casper Rockies, 6 runs on 7 hits, while the Angels have 1 run on 4 hits. Smith, a 2-sport legend in Ole Miss, swings through it, 1-1. Dustin Hahn at third base, the infield plane in. Obviously anticipating a ground ball so they can cut off the runner at home. 1-1 pitch, grounded right to the first baseman, Walston. He's going to look the runner back to third base. He'll step on first. Good job by Walston as he was playing in and able to take the hop. So Seth Smith is retired.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Grounding to first, and with 2 outs on the board, the defense gets back into their normal positions. Ryan Fox digs in. 0 for 1 today with a ground out and a walk. He hit 2 home runs in the doubleheader yesterday. And the first pitch he'll take is a strike. 0-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. And in a matter of seconds, the sun has all of a sudden completely dropped as the entire field is now covered in shadows. Ryan Fox takes another strike down the middle, 0-2. We'll give you the latest updates on the big league scoreboard when we get back in the top of the 5th. But until then, we'll keep our attention focused here on the field as Frederick Carney gets set. And it's going to be a breaking ball to Fox, a ball and 2 strikes. Again, we proposed a trivia question earlier. I wanted to find out who was the Angels' all-time batting leader, the highest batting average by an Angels player. Drop me that email at jpeters@provoangels.com. Carney steps off the mound. A slight breeze outside. It's going to be a chilly night for the simple fact that there are no clouds above us, and all this warm air will escape. Inside to Fox, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You like the skills of part play-by-play man, part weather reporter, part salesman. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carney will go high and inside to Ryan Fox, and every single at-bat that Ryan Fox has had, these Provo pitchers have been throwing high and tight to Ryan. Could it be because he annihilated the Angels yesterday? 3-2. Carney firing, fouls it straight back and over the press box to keep the count full. So with 2 outs on the board, Dustin Hahn only 90 feet away from bringing home or from scoring the 7th run for the Rockies, but Frederick Carney has different things in mind right here. Full count. Defense on their toes. Here it is. Inside, and Ryan Fox heads over to first base. So his second walk of the night. And now you got to face Mike Davies, who's a pretty good hitter. And this is a pretty good hitter for a guy who was a pitcher up until this season. He pitched in the Rockies system since 2000. This is the first year that Mike Davies has turned into a full-time offensive player. And what did he do last night in Game 2 for the Rockies? Well, he only collected 3 base hits, 2 RBI singles, including the game-winning hit in the 7th. Mike Davies from the left side. 208 pounds, from Portland, Oregon. Went to Mount Hood Community College. I was playing with the Asheville Tourists last season. Davies from the left side, runners on the corners, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Carney delivers, and it'll be a strike over the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Don't forget to visit www.mlb.com and scroll down to Angels and find out what your Anaheim Angels are doing and when they're going to call up our boys in the system. Swung through is Mike Davies, nothing in 2. Because eventually Garrett Anderson has to retire. Eventually Vladimir Guerrero is going to retire. And Eckstein and Benji Molina. And that means the guys who are in the system right now for the Angels will have their shot at big league glory. 1 and 2. What Provo Angel batters this season do you think will eventually make it to the big leagues? They're still a long ways away from climbing that ladder, but you got to start somewhere. 1 and 2 outside, and the batter go, and he crossed the plane. Mike Davies will strike out, and that ends the inning. So Frederick Carney has a couple runners on base, but we head to the top of the 5th. Rockies on top by a score of 6-1.
Two contestants that will try to deliver today's Casper Star Tribute. Each contestant will attempt to deliver Star Tribute papers into their designated target. Whoever can deliver the most papers in a lot of time is the winner. They will both deliver the papers at the same time. The winner will win a prize from Casper Star Tribute. Kelly, are Patrick and Nick ready?
What's up, man? 2 hours there. What is that?
No, let's get those papers delivered. No.
I'm going to steal some, all right?
Go fast, Andy. Put 'em on, folks. Up now.
Grand slam, man. They hit a grand slam off of us. Yeah, something like that. Can I steal some of these licorice? I love baseball. It's the greatest game. Oh, this is yours? We have Nathan in the booth with us right now. Nate, the official bus driver for the Provo Angels this season. He's a good guy. You would look at Nathan, the bus driver, and you wouldn't think that he's a bus driver. You would think football player, ex-athlete. This guy's huge. So we'd like to thank Nathan and the rest of Lewis Brothers Stages for delivering the Angels to where they have to go on time, all the time. Top of the 5th inning, Ryan Leahy, Billy Boyer, and Cliff Romali, the batters. Rockies lead this game 6-1. And we'll give you some Angels information in just a little bit. We'll get you up to date with all the news and notes going on in the Angels system. Ryan Leahy, a .305 career hitter at Boston College. Signed as a free agent. First pitch to Ryan Leahy will be popped back, 0-1. So the sun is set behind us. The lights are slowly beginning to turn on here. Like most baseball lights do, it takes a couple minutes for it to get to its full capacity. Is that the word to say? High and tight, 1-1. Billy Boyer in the on-deck circle. He'll be followed by Cliff Romali. The Angels trying to get something started here in the fifth, and that will help. A little bloop into right field. That'll be a base hit by Leahy as he goes the opposite way. So Leahy singling. Now that will be Ryan's first hit as a member of the Provo Angels. So congratulations, Ryan Leahy. You're now on your way to hopefully making it to the big leagues. Leahy stands at 5'9". He's David Eckstein type of build. And of course, David Eckstein is playing shortstop in the big leagues, and so Leahy has a way to go. Billy Boyer, the second baseman tonight, takes the first pitch inside 1-0. Billy Boyer singled in the first inning, walked in the third. Lindsay delivers, and it'll be high 2-0. Now, you got to like the way that Billy Boyer plays. He gets on base. He's getting these hits. It's early in the season, but it's showing to the Angels that this guy's for real. He's done a good job hitting the ball. And right here, forces Shane Lindsay to toss it outside. And that'll fill things up at 3 balls and no strikes. Top of the fifth, the Rockies lead 6-1. Leahy on first base, and Boyer with a 3-0 count. He'll swing through the pitch, looking like he wants to hit a home run right there. And he was successful last night in the top of the seventh with 2 outs on the board. There were 2 runners on base, and Boyer tied the game up with the home run before the Rockies came back to take the doubleheader sweep. The 3-1 pitch, lined into the dugout of the Angels, fills things up. Left-hander Jared Washburn left his June 20th start against the Astros after the second inning with neck and lower back spasms. Jared Washburn, after this pitch, foul ball, keeps it full. Jared Washburn said, quote, "I don't foresee any long-term effect in my spot in the rotation because of this." He said, "I've had it hurt before, but usually the day after I pitch." So now Washburn just has to recover. Looks like he will make his next start. So if you were concerned about Washburn getting out of the game against the Astros a couple days ago, he's okay. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Billy Boyer. A runner at first, Cliff Romali in the on-deck circle. Lindsay delivers, and again Boyer's going to foul the pitch back. So he's having a good at-bat right now. He's making Lindsay work, and he's making Shane Lindsay think. And he's saying, if you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me with your best pitch and my best effort. Full count. Leahy at first base with decent speed. Here it is. Inside, and that'll walk Boyer. So he heads over to first base. His 3rd time being on base today. And Cliff Romali digs in. Romali with a home run in his 3rd at-bat as a professional. In fact, his first ever hit as a professional was a home run in Game 1 of the doubleheader that the Angels eventually lost. Cliff Romali. He is 1 for 8 as a Provo Angel batter. 2 men are on base. Here's the pitch. High for a ball, 1-0. The Angels are currently 37-31. The Anaheim Angels, that is. 1.5 games behind the Oakland A's, and they are playing Oakland right now as it is a scoreless game in the bottom of the second. The 1-0 pitch. Over the plate, 1-1. So the Angels, even though they're only 6 games above 500, that entire West Division, not necessarily winning a lot of games. 1 ball, 1 strike, outside, 2-1 to Romali, and he's in a situation right here where he will see a good pitch. As a pitcher, you want to attack him on 3-1, and it's a fastball, but inside. So Lindsay trying to force him to swing and miss. Ryan Fox is aware of the situation as he takes a jog out to the mound.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The interesting thing is on a 2-1 count, if you're a pitcher, you want to attack the batter on 2-1 because if you miss or if something happens, it's all of a sudden 3-1 and you are forced to throw a strike. So on a 2-1 count, you don't necessarily have to throw a strike, but you need to have that deception. And Lindsay trying to deceive Romali as it was an inside pitch, and he now has a tee-off count. 3 balls and a strike, high and tight, and Romali heads over to first base. So Lindsay again trying to go inside, and now the Angels have the bases loaded with no outs, and Felix Nunez at the bat. Leahy is at third, Billy Boyer at second, and Cliff Romali at first base. Nobody out, and it looks like they're going to take the ball from Shane Lindsay, so the Rockies are making a call to the bullpen. It's a 6-1 Rockies lead, but the Angels right now are threatening. We'll be back after this break. You're listening to Provo Angels Baseball on SportsJuice.com.
Some more baseball bingo numbers for you. Under the G49, under the G58, and under the O70. Now pitching for your Casper Rockies, number 50, Jay Metzger. Fans, be sure to grab yourself one of the great menu items and trade stand during tonight's game. Located underneath the home plate grandstand. Try hot dogs, beer bugs, frozen treats, smoked products, Budweiser and quarter products, popcorn, candy, pretzels, peanuts, sunflower seeds, and so much more. As an added bonus this season, we have ballpark fajitas from La Cocina and a good to order also pizza from Pizza Hut. We've got a little something for everyone.
Back out here at Mike Lansing Field, home of the Casper Rockies. It's Game 4 of this 5-game set between your Provo Angels and the Casper Rockies. Bases are loaded. Pitching change by the Casper Rockies. They take out Shane Lindsay, and they bring in Jay Metzger, the left-hander. So Metzger making his first appearance ever as a professional as he faces off against the right-hander Felix Nunez. Nunez waiting, first pitch, going to be inside, 1-0. Felix Nunez was a .333 hitter last year in Mesa. Spent some time with Provo the season before that in 2002, and he hit .348 in about 50 at-bats. So Nunez has been hitting the ball well the past year and a half. Right here, though, he pops the pitch up. First baseman Mike Davies will float into foul grounds and get out number 1. So Nunez behind the pitch, popping it up, and there is one gone. Ben Johnson, who hit a home run in his in the 4th inning, makes his way to the plate. Ben Johnson, of the University of Washington. He was a good hitter in college, about a .300 career batting average. But it was because of his catching skills that got him drafted. But he's been showing a little bit of pop as of late. Bases are juiced with Angels. Here's the pitch by Metzger, and this one is popped up. Could it be playable? And it will not, as it's plenty of foul room here in Casper, Wyoming. So the first baseman and the catcher have to run and kind of meet each other near the batting circle. And it'll be a foul ball, 0-1. Ben Johnson. Ryan Leahy at third base, Billy Boyer at second, and Cliff Romali at first. One out on the board, top of the fifth. The Angels trail by 5 runs. Swung through and missed. A good breaking pitch by Metzger. No balls, 2 strikes. The Angels have collected, they've been on base quite a bit this game, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. So Ben Johnson wants to try to make something happen here. Metzger will throw it outside, away from the right-hander, a ball and 2 strikes. The defense for the Rockies, the middle infielders, are obviously playing up the middle in double play depth as they're close to the second base bag. The center fielder, Stephen Boggs, is shaded towards left field. 1 and 2. Here it is to Ben Johnson. It'll skip in the dirt. As it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay Metzger, the left-hander. So we'll get you some information on this 2004 roster. A lot of these guys with some good collegiate background. The Rockies do draft pretty well. Metzger, a 23rd round pick. 2 and 2, and now Ben Johnson will call time. The Angels were shocked yesterday when the Rockies took both ends of the doubleheader. They're feeling the sting today as the Rockies have a 6-0 lead. The pitch to Ben Johnson. He's going to slam him on the inside part of the plate. Johnson strikes out looking. You know he's going to hear something from Kochman when he gets back to the dugout. Nate Sutton now digs in. Nate Sutton, the guy as a pitcher, if you're Jay Metzger, probably don't want to face Sutton right now. He's been on base 6 of his first 7 times with the Provo Angels, including a nice line drive single in the second inning. There's a pitch to Sutton, and he's going to take a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Now, a lot of times batters will take that first pitch because it'll set everything else up. Obviously, if you have an 0-1 count against you, you know what you need to look for. 0-1, Metzger, breaking pitch, and that one is going to be over. 0-2. 2 strikes to Nate Sutton. He's in the hole. The bases are loaded with Angels. A 6-1 Rockies lead. Metzger, the pitcher, delivers. It's high. A curveball that didn't break like he wanted it to, and it's now 1-2. Nate Sutton from UC Santa Barbara. A good hitter. He's showed his talent here with the Angels. He'll pop a pitch down the left field side, 1-2. If the Angels have had a better chance to score runs, then I like to see it. Because with the bases loaded and no outs, you would think that at least something has to happen. But a fly out to first base and a strikeout looking has kind of turned things around here. Sutton, line drive, base hit, fair, down the right field line. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. Cliff Romali's going to round. Here's the relay. He should get there safely. And Nate Sutton showing that he knows how to hit the baseball. With 2 strikes against him, a fine piece of hitting as he clears the bases. And I'm sure Kochman is going to take some consideration in Nate Sutton's abilities to hit. He's been just playing him every other day. Well, obviously, with 3 RBIs, it's now a 6-4 Rockies lead, but good job by Nate Sutton. Caleb Mayer now digs in. Mayer from the right side. It's a 6-4 Rockies lead. Mayer waiting, and the pitch will be outside, 1-0. It's interesting because just yesterday I was sitting down talking with Nate Sutton. We were at lunch, and he said, I don't even think the coaching staff knows what I'm capable of doing. Well, I'm sure they know now that Nate Sutton has been on base 7 out of his first 8 times as a pro. 1-0. Inside, the pitch is going to bounce back to the screen. Sutton is going to take a hard turn at third base, but get back as he takes the base and gets 90 feet closer to home plate. The ball skipped away from Ryan Fox. 2 balls and no strikes to Caleb Mayer. And with 2 outs on the board, the defense is obviously going to play at their normal depth. The center fielder is just shaded a bit towards left, but they're not really playing Caleb Mayer to pull it all, as he has a straightaway batting stance. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch by Menzer outside, 2-1. Nate Sutton will get congratulated when he gets back to the dugout. And what a humble guy Nate Sutton is. He's quiet, soft-spoken, but he knows he can play. 2-1, here it is. And again, ground ball. This one will be fouled down the third base side. Next inning, we're going to go ahead and do this date in baseball history. We'll also look over the Anaheim Angels statistics this year. We'll let you know what players are hot and what players are not. All that brought to you by Millennium Marine, a great sponsor for Provo Angel Webcasts. Swung through is Caleb Mayer, and that'll end the inning. So Nate Sutton, pat him on his back, fellas, because with the bases loaded and 2 strikes against him, he hits a line drive double down the line, and it's a 6-4 Casper Rockies lead. But the Angels getting that much closer. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back after this break.
No, the car's not being towed. If you can't leave your lights on,
Wow.
your car is filthy. You have
Awesome piece of hitting.
Superset Auto Wash, dirtiest car in the lot. With some of Casper's most up-to-date self-service wash bays or a fully automatic wash, Superset Auto Wash can make that filthy car shine once again. Again, congratulations to the owner of a 4-screen X-Men pickup, license plate number 1-805H. You just won a free car wash. Just report to the information booth to pick up your prize. Again, please report to the information booth to claim your prize. For an entire fleet of cars or just our own personal vehicle, Superset will take care of you. At Superset Auto Wash, located at 2220 UI Avenue. We would like to thank the good folks at Casper Technology for providing us with our picnic tenting season. For all your summer party needs, call Casper Technology. From small tents to large tents, tables and chairs, Casper has it all. Call them today at 237-3020. Casper Technology, the outdoor party professionals. Speaking of Casper Technology picnic tents, what better way to spend a beautiful summer evening than at the ballpark with your friends or coworkers? Enjoy a ball game, and all you can eat pregame picnic. Leave all the cooking to us. You just sit back and relax. Call our office today for book your picnic outing today. Hurry, the best days are filling quickly.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Kyle Wilson, Jeff Dragisevich, and Rob Osgood, the batters. The Angels trailing by 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. And the first pitch to Kyle Wilson will be inside 1-0. If you got the answer for us with our Anaheim Angels trivia question, that was named the all-time batting leader for the Angels. Kyle Wilson, line drive single, past Ryan Leahy, the shortstop. And Wilson is 2 for 2 today. Well, line drive single to start things off here in the 5th. Jeff Dragisevich makes his way to the plate. A 6-4 Rockies lead here in the 5th. But, again, if you have the answer for that question, you can drop me an email, jpeters@provoangels.com. And even if you have any comments you want to mention over the air, we'll be sure to give you all that info. Dragisevich. From the right side, he'll break his bat, foul it down the first base side. He's got to go get some new lumber. 0-1. And we'll pause to take this break and give you this date in baseball history brought to you by Millennium Marine. More than just a boat dealer, but giving your family something to be proud of, something to enjoy during the summer times, and something to do when it's sunny, hot, and relaxing outside. Get on your boat, get down on Millennium Marine. and give them a try, located off the 15 freeway at exit 276, Millennium Marine, will be on your right. June 21st, 2004. That's the date today. We're going to turn back the clock to June 21st, 1939. This is the day that Lou Gehrig and the New York Yankees announced his retirement, as Lou Gehrig would remain with the team as a captain, but he officially announced his retirement on this day as he was diagnosed with what is now called Lou Gehrig's disease. Dragicevic, again, will foul the ball off the mask of the catcher that rolls down first, 0-2. Lou Gehrig would die just shortly, probably I think about a year later, with the Lou Gehrig disease, illness that they have not been able to cure today. Kurt Schilling is a supporter of the Lou Gehrig disease and puts a lot of money into the funds to support that technology. So, was this date 1939 that Lou Gehrig announces the retirement? Dragicevic will swing and miss at a Frederick Carney pitch, and there is one out.
All right, man, let's make some noise for your next batter.
I got plenty of this Dayton baseball history. Got plenty of cool trivia questions for you. If you like the trivia questions, let me know. If you like this Dayton baseball histories, let me know so I can put some cool ones together for you. In fact, if you have any trivia questions about your favorite Major League team that you want me to propose to you, draw me an email. Let me know what your favorite Big League team is, which we hope is the Angels, and I'll try to stump you. Rob Hosgood will take the first pitch as he swings and misses, 0-1. Good breaking ball by Frederick Carney. A 6-4 Casper Rockies lead here in the fifth. As the Angels scored 3 runs in the fifth inning on a bases loaded Nate Sutton double. And the Rockies, they scored all 6 of their runs in the third inning. A couple base hits and a grand slam by Rob Hosgood. Runner at first. 1 out. The designated hitter from the left side, and he'll take a pitch on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. We're doing something unique this season at the ballpark. Obviously, last year, Larry H. Miller Field, we had free haircuts on Thursdays. That will still be going on this year, as Paul Mitchell will be giving out those haircuts. So if you're looking to grow a mullet and you want to get it cut at the ballpark, well, we got Paul Mitchell giving great haircuts. And also, this year we're going to have free massages from Asnar Family Chiropractic, located on State Street in Orem, and Namaste Body Works, independently owned by Cheryl Wren. The pitch outside by Rob Hosgood, 1-2. So between Asnar Family Chiropractic and between Namaste, there's going to be 16 dates where they're going to come out and give chair massages and back massages and all that fun stuff. So be sure you come out to those dates. Namaste will be at the ballpark on opening night, and Asnar will be at the ballpark on Saturday. Next pitch to Hosgood is going to be a ball. 2-2 the count. Bottom of the 5th inning. Runner at first is Kyle Wilson. And Hosgood right now just waiting. Frederick Carney delivering. Broken bat, ground ball right to the shortstop. Good flip to second for one. Back to first for the other. A 6-4-3 double play. Ryan Leahy, the shortstop, flipping front of his knees. And that ends the inning. We head to the top of the 6th. The Angels and the Rockies in a close game. It's a 2-run lead for Casper.
1-800-388-ROCK or by visiting ColoradoRockies.com. Tonight's former Casper Rocky is Ryan Sheely. After 66 games with the Tulsa Drillers. Ryan Sheely, the 2002 Casper Rockies, is hitting .305 with 10 home runs and 37 RBIs. Ryan here was the Pioneer League MVP when he played here at Casper. You got to see him here first, right in Casper. All right, here's our answer to our Food Service of America baseball trivia question from earlier tonight. The question was, the Casper Rockies are part of the Colorado Rockies farm system. Which of the following teams are also part of that farm system? Was it A, New Haven Ravens, B, Carolina Mudcats, or C, Congratulations goes to Trade Line. Goes the information goes to Train Your Drive. That's Troy, L-E-I-N. Thanks to Food Service of America for bringing back the popular baseball trivia. Head down now to get all your favorite ballpark treats. Did you know that Hillcrest Spring Water supplies the Rockies?
Mike Lansing Field here in the top of the 6th inning. Casper Rockies playing host to your Provo Angels. The Rockies lead 6-4. It's going to be J.R. Renz, Chris Walton, and Ryan Leahy, the batters. And again, some quick information for you diehard Provo Angel fans. Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis, a couple of top picks for the Angels back in 2001. And they're the second and third top prospects in their system right now, have been named to the Futures All-Star team, which will play the World All-Star team at Minute Maid Park 2 days before the Major League All-Star game begins. Basically, they take all the U.S. people, all the All-Stars from the U.S., and they play against all the imported minor league stars. So they're going to be playing that game 2 days before the Major League All-Star break, and you should be able to watch that game on ESPN. So good job by Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis, who are playing at AA Arkansas. Don't forget Casey Koshman, the first Provo Angel batter to make it to the big leagues. And also Casey Smith, who's playing at AAA Salt Lake. Jordan Renz, first pitch, and he'll take it over the plate, 0-1. Jordan Renz can be considered a veteran for this Provo Angels team. This was his 3rd year in baseball. And he'll take one that bounces in front of the plate, 1-1. Top of the 6th. A 2-run lead for the Casper Rockies. Jay Metzger getting set. And again, it'll be inside. 2 balls and a strike. So Chris Walston in the on-deck circle. Ryan Leahy behind him. As the Provo Angels look to get this game closer than the score appears. Renz. Patience. Fly ball into the gap of right center. Coming on is Seth Smith, and he will make the play on the run. So a good piece of hitting by Jordan Renz, but it's right where the 50th overall pick was stationed. 1 gone, and Chris Walston makes his way up. Go ahead and give you an update of games going on in the big leagues right now. It is a final. The Cleveland Indians beat the Chicago White Sox as C.C. Sabathian picks up his 5th win of the season. 5-1 victory. Ronnie Belliard with a home run, and Casey Blake, who once played in Salt Lake, with a home run. Walton swings and misses through the first pitch. Bottom of the 8th inning, Pittsburgh Pirates, Houston Astros. The Astros lead 7-4, 7 runs on 13 hits. They're at the bottom of the 8th in Houston. Walton takes the next pitch over the plate, 0-2. And right now, the Angels and the Oakland A's in Anaheim are scoreless in the top of the 4th. Walton waiting, delivering his Jay Metzger. That one just below the knees of Chris Wally Walton. They call him Wally around here. From Southern California. Set, and he'll swing and miss at this pitch as it's a good breaking ball by Metzger. Walton is strikeout number 3 for Jay Metzger as he's out number 2 here in the inning. Walton heads back to the dugout, and Ryan Leahy steps in. Leahy made a good play to end the 5th inning as he caught the ball on his knees, flipped to second, and Billy Boyer was able to flip it to first to turn the 6-4-3 double play. Leahy will take a strike right over the plate, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, top of the 6th. A 6-4 Casper Rockies lead. Metzger, the ball is outside and gets away from Ryan Fox, the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. A couple other games going on as well in the big leagues. We mentioned the Indians defeating the White Sox and the Angels and the A's in the 4th inning of the scoreless game. Leahy pops one into left field. Coming on is Dustin Hahn, and he'll make a waist-high catch to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Provo Angels. It's the first 1, 2, 3 inning this game. We head to the bottom of the 6th, and the Casper Rockies coming up at 6-4 Casper.
Who's going to be a lucky recipient tonight? Thanks, Kelly. Congratulations to our winner tonight, Jen. When you want to take care of the sweetheart in your life, go see Ron and the crew at Ace Flowers at the Hilltop Shopping Center or at the 2nd Street location. We'd like to take this time to extend our appreciation to tonight's sponsor, BioLife Plasma Services, for a great BioLife Plasma Monday. Casper Rockies would like to extend our thanks and appreciation to Waste Connections of Wyoming. If you're looking for dependable, reliable service, call Waste Connections of Wyoming at 266-1161.
Discussing something out there.
We do have some more bingo numbers for you under the I-30, under the N-36, and under the O-64 and 71.
What's that umpire is? That umpire's like 15 years old. The girl? That's a girl umpire? Cool. So many female umpires in the league. That is awesome.
Back out here at Mike Lansing Field, Casper Rockies, Provo Angels. It is a 6-4. Casper Rockies are leading this contest. Stephen Boggs, Eric Young, and Dustin Hahn, the batters against Casey Mutter. Casey Mutter making his first appearance for the Angels. A right-hander out of Cal State San Bernardino. And it'll be a ball high to Stephen Boggs, another Southern California product. Casey Mutter was 6-4 in 14 games started at Cal State. He had a high ERA, 4.13, but he was a decent pitcher and athlete. And now the pitch is high, 2-0 as Ben Johnson runs out to quickly talk with him. Some interesting information. I wasn't paying attention, but tonight's umpire down the first base line, she is a female. So we have a female umpire down there at first, which is something you don't see too often in minor league baseball, but definitely something unique to the game. The pitch is inside, 3-0. Stephen Boggs, 3-0. He's 1 for 12 as a member of the Casper Rockies. He'll take a pitch high, and that'll put him on first base. So Boggs leads things off with a walk here in the bottom of the 6th, and Eric Young will be the batter. Nate Sutter, who drove home all 3 runs in the 5th inning on that bases loaded double, has made this game a lot closer. It's a 2-run contest instead of a 5-run game. And Casey Mutter, the new pitcher for the Angels, has walked Stephen Boggs to lead things off. And here's Eric Young. First pitch will be in the dirt. Eric Young 0 for 3 today with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Don't forget to visit us on ProvoAngels.com. Get all your Angels information, news in the community, what the players are up to, photos, bios, scouting reports, and game recaps. Brought to you by Jason in our Media Relations Department and Zach Frazier. A ball and a strike as Eric Young takes one over the plate. We'd like to thank Zach Frazier and James Davis, Ryan Pace, Sarah Hansen, all the wonderful Angels front office for making this a good start to the 2004 Pioneer League season. They've worked hard during the offseason making sure that we have bands at the ballpark, great events, wonderful sponsors. 2 balls and the strike. Eric Young, the pitch bounces in front of the plate. Johnson does a good job of getting back to it, but Stephen Boggs takes second base. So that will be, it looks like, we'll find out, possibly a wild pitch. But either way, Stephen Boggs is on second. 3 balls and a strike to Eric Young. Very nice evening, a little bit on the chilly side, but blue skies, not a cloud to be seen, and completely different atmosphere than what it's been lately. Young grounds the ball down the first base side, but foul, and that'll make things 3-2. Eric Young, full count against him. Dustin Hahn in the on-deck circle. Obviously, this is a big out right here for the Angels. 3-2 pitch, again grounded down the first base side. San Diego Padres are playing host to the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks and the Padres, they're in the middle of the 4th inning in San Diego, and Phil Nevin. Phil knock him dead. Nevin has hit his second home run, his 10th home run of the season, a 2-run shot in the 3rd, as the Padres lead the rival Diamondbacks. In the bottom of the 4th, the Dodgers and the Giants are scoreless, as Odalis Perez is on the mound for LA and Kurt Ruder on the mound for the Giants. And again in the top of the 5th, Oakland A's, Anaheim Angels still scoreless, as Tim Harden and John Lack of the Angels pitch in a pretty good contest. Dustin Hahn in the on-deck circle. Eric Young with the full count. Runner at second base. Here's the pitch. Grounder right to the first baseman, Chris Walston, who steps on the bag. But the runner, Stephen Boggs, will advance to third base. And that shows you just how much the game changes. That wild pitch that got away from the catcher. Had that not occurred, that would have been a double play. But instead, a runner's at third and only 1 out. So one missed pitch can mean the difference, as Boggs is now on third. So the Provo Angels bring their infield in. And Dustin Hahn, who's hit the ball hard 3 times today. A single in the 1st, a single through the middle in the 3rd, and then a line drive double in the 4th inning. He'll take a ball 1-0. Dustin Hahn from Reno, Nevada, a .390 hitter at Sacramento City College in Northern California. Mutter gets one over the plate, a ball and a strike. A 6-4 Casper Rockies lead, but they're threatening right now with a runner at third and only 1 out. Good block by Ben Johnson as the pitch was in the dirt. 2-1. It's the beginning of the 2004 Pioneer League season. If you want to find out more about these teams in the league, log on to PioneerLeague.com to get all your Pioneer League info. The pitch is popped straight up. It's going to come back into the stands. Johnson gives it chase, and he loses into the light. But it's okay because it's going to land behind us here at Mike Lansing Field. Evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. During the first 3 games of this series, there hasn't been a lot of foul balls hit into the section here, right behind home plate and in front of the press box. But the second they see some action, these people go crazy out here in Wyoming. Baseballs are like gold to them. They see enough cattle. They see enough syrups. Baseballs, that's where it's at. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and now time is called by Dustin Hahn as he steps out of the box as the pitch was delivered. Well, log on to PioneerLeague.com, get all your Pioneer League information, find out a little more about the greats who have once played in this league. There's been plenty of them. PioneerLeague.com. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball low, and that'll fill things up. And this is, again, a big out. And obviously, it's not a bad thing if Casey Mutter walks Dustin Hahn, because that puts a runner at first base. But then you have Seth Smith in the on-deck circle, so you'll want to go and attack this batter. 3-2 pitch, barely getting a piece of it, and fouls it back is Dustin Hahn. A 6-4 Casper Rockies lead here in the bottom of the sixth. The final game of this series will be tomorrow at 7:05 as the Rockies and the Angels play Game 5 of the series. The Angels will then head home and play 4 against Idaho Falls, 3 against Ogden, while the Casper Rockies travel to Ogden for 4 games after tomorrow's contest. The 3-2 pitch, line drive, base hit into left field. So Dustin Hahn, 4 for 4 today. He's going to try to take second. Good throw by the left fielder, and they nail him. Look at that umpire nailing him. So they bring home Stephen Boggs. It'll be a single. But being thrown out at second base is Dustin Hahn as he tries to advance to second base. So a good throw by Cliff Romali right there. 2 outs, and now Seth Smith, the batter. By the time Dustin Hahn was rounding first base, Romali already had the ball, so maybe didn't see the ball off the bat that well. First pitch to Seth Smith will be over for a strike, 0-1. Either way, it's a 7-4 Casper Rockies lead. Smith waits. Here comes the pitch, and he will take it inside. 1-1. The Rockies 2 wins and a loss. The Angels 1-2 here to open up the season. This is a big game for Anaheim. Mile high pop-up, which is drifting foul. Chris Walton giving it chase, but it's going to land on top of the Rockies dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I can't get over the fact that we have a female umpire out there. That's wonderful. And she is pretty authoritative. She's telling these players what to do and don't say this or that to me. Good job for minor league baseball getting more female umpires involved with professional baseball. And 1-2 to Seth Smith. They'll swing and miss, strikes him out, ends the inning. So Dustin Hahn bringing home the 7th run for the Rockies, but he's thrown out advancing on an apparent attempted double. We head to the top of the 7th, a 7-4 Rockies lead.
It's now time to go up with Lucky Souvenir game programs for a couple more lucky autographs. Turn to the featured ad on page 52, the Oaktown ad on page 64, or the Agony ad on page 26. Even those 3 ads are started by Ryan Fox. You won a lucky autograph prize. Just go to your commission booth and claim your prize.
These guys up. Back out here at Mike Lansing Field, I'm your host, Jacob Peters, from Southern California, from San Diego, home sweet home. But my wife and I, we've been to New Jersey the past year and a half working for a minor league team on the East Coast. So we'd like to give out some Respect out to the East Coasters out there, but don't forget our lovely San Diego, where my wife is at right now, as we're expecting a little baby boy in August. So if my wife is listening to the game right now, I'd just like to say I love you very much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you when we get home, or when you get home from California in a week. Billy Boyer, Cliff Romali, and Felix Nunez here in the 7th inning. The Rockies lead 7-4.
Now up to bat, number 7, Billy Boyer.
Angels baseball. Exciting as it may be, Billy Boyer leads things off. He's been on base 3 times today, 2 walks and a single. A switch hitter who has turned things over, and he's batting from the right. He'll take a strike, 0-1. Jay Metzer still on the mound for the Casper Rockies. This will be his 3rd official inning. He came in the 5th when there were 3 men on and no outs. He's given up 1 hit in his 6 batters faced. 7 batters faced, excuse me. Next pitch to Boyer over the plate. 0-2. Billy Boyer, who played in Mesa last season and is playing very well for the Provo Angels to start off this season. He'll swing at a pitch outside. He strikes out, though, as Boyer is out number 1.
Now batting number 9, Clifton Romali.
1 gone. Clifton Romali digs in. He's 0 for 2, but he's been on base twice. Once by a fielder's choice, and the other by a walk. Romali from the left side. First pitch will be inside for a ball, 1-0. Romali hit a ground ball to the shortstop in the 1st inning, but the play was made at first. He flew out to left field in the 3rd and walked in the 5th, and there's a base hit by Romali into right field. So diving is Eric Young, but it gets right underneath his glove. A 1-out base hit for Cliff Romali, and that's going to set things up for Felix Nunez, who's 0 for 3 today. Nunez, a good hitter last year at Mesa, a good hitter with Provo back in 2002. I got that answer for you for the trivia question we had proposed earlier today. It was the Angels' all-time batting leader. I was asking you if you can give me the name of the Angels' all-time leader. First pitch to Nunez is inside, 1-0. I've had 4 responses, so 4 of you emailed me. I'm assuming that the other people didn't know the answer. And every single one of you were correct. Rob Carew, a .314 career hitter with the Angels. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch by Metzer, swung on and missed, and that'll leave things up at 1-1. Now, Rob Carew with the Angels, a .314 hitter and over 3,000 plate appearances. He also played with the Minnesota Twins for the first half of his career. Rob Carew, a 3,000 hit man, hit .388 back in 1977. That was the highest average, one of the highest averages in the last 40 years. 1-1. Again, Jay Metzer going to first base. Top of the 7th, the Angels trail by 3 runs, as it is about 9:20 in Casper, Wyoming. This game's been going on for a couple of hours now. Nunez waiting, high fly ball into center field. Stephen Boggs has to go back. Looks like he'll get underneath it, and he will make the play. So Felix Nunez elevating the ball, but it's playable for Boggs, and there are 2 outs. Ben Johnson, a solo home run in the 4th inning, steps up. The Angels down to their final 7 outs. They have 7 outs to work with to score 3 runs. And the Angels would hate to drop 3 of their first 4 games to open up the season against the Casper Rockies, a team that they have dominated since first joining the league in 2001. Johnson swing and a miss. And one reason why this makes it so exciting is because the Casper Rockies, this is the first step for players drafted from the Casper Rockies. This is where they go. Well, the Angels, when players are first drafted for the Angels, a lot of times they start off in Mesa, Arizona, then come up to Provo. So the Angels are actually advanced, while the Casper Rockies are not. High fly ball should be playable for the shortstop, Jeff Dragisevich, as he catches it right behind second base, and that ends the inning. So Jay Munzer retiring, getting out of the jam, stranding a runner. We head to the bottom of the seventh. The Rockies 7 and the Angels 4. What is it? Is this the last round? No. That was yesterday. It was. Yeah, yesterday. Oh, my bad. My microphone's on. Sorry.
The answer to the question, which group recently announced the breakup due to unresolved differences, is 3. Congratulations to Sean King, who has won a free lunch and dinner at Officer Mexican Restaurant. Sean King reports his information booth. Baseball, don't you wish to celebrate your kid's birthday? Are you ready to treat your kid to something nice on their special day? How about spending a birthday with us at a Rockies game? Birthday party can start with 10 people and include a game ticket for sessions with everyone in the party. Also includes a chance to the birthday person to draw a ceremonial first pitch and a personalized birthday wish all in the PA system. These deals start at only $115 and are a unique way for you to spend your special day with friends and family. Make your birthday with the Rockies. Call us at 222-1111 and stop by the information booth. Look yours today.
Bottom of the seventh inning, Ryan Fox, Mike Davies, and Kyle Wilson to take their at-bats for the Casper Rockies. Casey Mutter going to work his second inning out here as he faces the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Rockies. It's a 7-4 Casper lead. And the first pitch to Fox is going to be laced but foul down the third base side. 0-1. Looks like Ryan Fox might have cracked his bat, so he's going to give it to the bat boy and get some new lumber. Fans, if you're thinking about bringing a group out to the ballpark, we have great group outings for you. If you have 25 to 100 people, it's only $5 a ticket. Your name will be announced over the PA system and our electronic scoreboard as your group comes to the ballpark and enjoys a great time with the Provo Angels. Ever thinking about bringing your company out to the ballpark and you want to do a pregame barbecue? We have an all-you-can-eat barbecue pit. For $15, you get the ticket into the ballpark, as many hot dogs, cheeseburgers, chicken salads that you want to eat, and you also get your name on the PA system and you get to sit in your own reserved section. So pregame barbecues, exciting way to spend your evening during the summer times at the ballpark. Give James Davis a call at 377-2255. Tell him you heard it over the air. And if you do that today, we might just hook you up with some additional tickets. The 1-1 pitch. Low for a ball. 2-1 to Ryan Fox. Ryan Fox walked twice today as the Provo Angel pitchers have been busting him inside. And Ben Davis is out on the mound, quickly talking with Casey Mutter. Ryan Fox waiting for their discussion to get over with. And I think Ben Davis right now is basically just telling Mutter, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what the sign is. This is Mutter's first appearance here in the 2004 season. Ryan Fox waiting. Mutter with the pitch, and it'll be inside for a ball. 3-1 to the opening hitter here in the bottom of the seventh. 7-4 Rockies lead. Mutter delivers. High fly ball that hit a mile, but it's going to go foul. Actually looked like that ball hit into the other baseball field. That was a shot by Ryan Fox, but he pulled it a little too much, and now it's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Fox played at short season A-ball last year with the Tri-City Dust Devils. Here it comes, breaking ball inside, and Ryan Fox heads over to first base with yet another walk, his 3rd walk of the game. And the Angels, they're basically just not even wanting to face Ryan Fox. They put him on base 3 times now. Mike Davies digs in, batting from the left side. Casey Mutter, the right-handed pitcher, delivers, and this one popped up foul down the left field side, 0-1. Mike Davies from Portland, Oregon, is making the change from starting pitcher to a first baseman this year. He has started in the Rockies system since 2000. And this season he decided he's going to reverse it, start over again, but this time as a position player. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Davies, who played at Mount Hood Community College, was a good pitcher, but obviously in that collegiate league up in Mount Hood, they did not have the DH rule, so Davies hit for himself, and he learned how to hit. He'll swing through the pitch, he'll strike out, flips over to first base, as Ryan Fox was cheating off of first. So Davies strikes out, 1 gone, and now Kyle Wilson makes his way to the plate. Bottom of the 5th inning in Anaheim, the Oakland A's and the Anaheim Angels, it's all tied up 2-2. As the Oakland A's scored 2 runs in the 5th, but the Angels came right back with 2 of their own in the bottom of the 5th. So the Oakland A's and the Anaheim Angels, if the Angels pick up the win today, they'll be a half game out of first place. Kyle Wilson batting from the right side, and Casey Mutter will toss it over to first to keep Ryan Fox close. Ryan isn't going to go anywhere. He's not a speedy guy, but he also doesn't want the Casper Rockies hitting into a possible hit and run play. You want to keep that double play intact. Here's the pitch to Wilson, and it'll be low for a ball. If you're wondering what ticket prices are at the ballpark this season, $8 for Superbox tickets, $6 for reserved and festival seating. So $8 and $6. $8 for the tickets close to the field, $6 for everything else. Come get some action at Larry H. Miller Field. Opening night at the ballpark will be on Wednesday. 2 balls and no strikes to Kyle Wilson. 2 for 2 today, as the Rockies have been hitting the ball very well. Runner going, hit and run play is on, but it'll be foul down the third base side. The Angels and the Rockies, Game 4 of this series. We'll give you an update on the Major League scoreboard in just one moment. As the 2-1 count to Kyle Wilson is weighted. Here it is, and it'll be over the plate, even things up at 2-2. Houston Astros defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh actually led that game 4-0 at one point, but the Astros came back. Jason Lane with his second home run of the season, and Octavio Dotel with the save. Runner going. Here's a throw to second. Ryan Fox is thrown out for out number 2, but it looks like the umpire and they are throwing him out. So we weren't quite sure what was happening right there, if the batter had called time or not, but Ryan Fox is thrown out. The reaction of the umpire, she didn't make a sign if he was out or safe. Everybody kind of stood around waiting for an answer. Fox caught stealing. It's a full count, 3-2. So that erases the base runner, and Wilson with the full count against him. Bottom of the 7th inning, Casey Mutter
set. It'll be foul. Down the first base side, 3-2. So the Astros defeat the Pirates 7-5. It's a 2-1 Padres lead in the bottom of the fifth. And the Dodgers and the Giants in San Francisco all tied up 1-1. Ground ball right to the shortstop. It's going to be playable for Ryan Leahy, who throws over to first. And that'll end the inning. So 1, 2, 3 for the most part go the Rockies as Ryan Fox is caught stealing and Wilson grounds out. We head to the top of the eighth, 6 outs away for the Angels. Let's see what they can do as it's a 7-4 Rockies lead.
The answer to the question in the movie Joe Dirt, who played the starring role of Joe, is B. David Spade. Congratulations to Jamie Peterson. Jamie has won himself a free movie rental from the good folks at Blockbuster Video. Looking for a name you recognize and a reputation you admire with Rocky Bear and Casper, celebrating their 40th year. Look no further than the Holiday Inn, right next to the ballpark. Hospitality is their only business. Holiday Inn, Casper, proud partner of the Casper Rockies. Looking to save money on your next Casper Rockies ticket purchase? Information will also have details regarding the 2004 Casper Rockies bonus books. These tickets are undated and can be used for any game during the season. They come from Hooks and Ten and cost under $65. You only make it to a few Rockies games a year. It's a bonus booster for you. Pick up your bonus book today. Join us for more fun and excitement this year with Casper Rockies baseball.
Back out here at Mike Lansing Field in Casper, Wyoming. It's game 4 of a 5-game set with the Casper Rockies. And now on the mound for the Rockies, it's going to be the lefty, Josh Newman. So Newman is on. He's got himself 2 innings worked already this season as he pitched 1, 2, 3 innings in the 7th and 8th innings of game 1 on the season. So Newman comes on, a left-hander, out of the 19th round pick as Josh Newman gets set to take on the lefty, Nate Sutton. Nate Sutton is 2 for 2 today. Good game again by Nate. First pitch by Newman is going to be right down the middle for a strike. 0-1. Top of the 8th inning. 7-4 Rockies on top. A huge game for the Provo Angels. Again, Sutton, he'll take a ball outside, 1-1. The Angels do not want to go back to Provo, a game under 500. And even though it's only the first series of the season, Sutton sends a shot to deep right field. That ball is over the fence. Nate Sutton with a solo shot. What a ball player that Nate Sutton is. What a good pickup by the Angels. And this is a guy that Tom Conchman and the rest of the staff had no idea about him. But Nate Sutton has just delivered a solo shot, and it is now a 7-5 Rockies lead. This guy is doing everything. Caleb Mayer now digs in. Mayer from the right. And I was just mentioning that the Angels don't want to head back to Provo down a game under 500. But if you can have 9 Nate Suttons in the lineup, then that can be a very positive thing for the Angels. 1-0 the count. Josh Newman set. This one will be popped back. 1-1. Caleb Mayer was playing in Cedar Rapids earlier in the season. Or, excuse me, last season he was in Cedar Rapids. A .233 hitter and about 365 at-bats. the Angels decided to give him a shot down here at Rookie League Provo. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. But Nate Sun has been a surprise for the Angels. Caleb Mayer set, liner, right to the shortstop. Good glove as Jeff Dragicevic as he gets it on the short hop. Throws over to first base, and that'll be out number 1. Mayer retired, and now Jordan Renz comes in. He's hit the ball hard twice today. He's also struck out. But officially, he's 0 for 3 on the game. Provo Angels are managed by a very good staff. Kevin Ham, Zeke Zimmerman, Tom Kochman, guys who take their job very seriously. They eat, sleep, talk baseball. They do everything baseball. They expect a lot out of their Angel staff because these guys are developing future big leaguers. If they don't do a good job, they don't have a job. If they don't do a good job, they're not going to be working next season. Low, 1-1. That's why Kochman is such a tough manager. He expects the most out of his players, and when they don't live up to his expectations, he's going to say something to them. And I think that's what all good coaches and managers do. They have to motivate you somehow. 2 balls and no strikes to J.R. Renz. A 2-run game. Renz lunges for a pitch outside, and that evens things up. A 7-5 Casper Rockies lead. Casper has scored 6 runs in the 3rd inning and put another run on the board in the 6th, while the Angels have used 3 different innings to put their 5 runs on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Renz, ground ball right to the 3rd baseman. Kyle Wilson, a long throw to first, one of the most difficult throws to make in baseball, but he makes it with ease. So 2 outs, and Chris Walston digs in. Walston is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. So the only thing left for him to do right here is get a base hit. Walston, who played 2 years down in Mesa, a 193 hitter in about 365 at-bats. First pitch, he'll swing through it, 0-1. Walston was a 6th-round draft pick by the Angels. The Angels have a lot of expectations for him. He's still pretty young. He signed out of high school. And hopefully he can start focusing more. And he mentioned it to me during batting practice today. He said that, you know, the first couple years he wasn't as focused. It took him a while to get used to everything and get adjusted. But we just hope he can start hitting the ball. We'd like to see him succeed. The 1-1 pitch, high and over the inside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs are on the board. It is the top of the 8th inning. Chris Walston waiting patiently. Here's the pitch by Newman, and Walston will swing and miss as he is strikeouts number 3 here in the inning. Ends it. Walston heads back to the dugout. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's a 7-5 Casper Rockies lead.
What do you think of tonight's total attendance?
Total attendance.
Tonight's total attendance is 854. Casper Rockies and Reliance Federal Credit Union, thank you for supporting professional baseball here in Wyoming. Reliance Federal Credit Union is Casper's community credit union. The Skylar Inn is Casper's solution for business travelers or out-of-town guests. Home on the Hearth side, the Skylar Inn is a modern facility designed for extended stays. Located on Wilson Street by the Wyoming Medical Center, the Skylar Inn is conveniently located in the heart of Casper. That's the Skylar Inn, the area's only extended stay studio, now in Casper. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to announce our lucky winner in tonight's National Legion Baseball 50-50 drawing. The winning number is 888095. Again, that number is 888095. Please come up to the press box and claim your prize of $70.
bottom of the 8th inning, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Casper Rockies, and the Provo Angels bring in Mike Sweeney. Mike Sweeney, a left-hander from Middleburg, Florida, a 39th round draft pick. And this will be Sweeney's first appearance in professional baseball, and he faces the bottom of the Casper Rockies order. It's a 7-5 Rockies lead. First pitch to Dragicevic is outside, 1-0. Gotta like a lot of the Angel picks this season, and good talent they have. High and tight again, 2 balls and no strikes. Up at Double-A Arkansas, there's a lot of great guys who were being tossed around as a possible first-half MVPs for the Arkansas Travelers. Every single one of them played here in Provo. Dragicevic takes a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the 8th inning. A 7-5 Rockies lead. Sweeney with the leg kick, and this pitch will come inside to make it a 3-1 count, a hitter's count. Dragicevic not considered a hitter, but you throw some sugar in front of him, and he's going to take advantage of it. Line drive single into left field, past the diving Ryan Leahy. And again, a 3-1 count is basically a blessing waiting to happen as Dragicevic leads off with the single. So a single by Drag. Rob Osgood digs in. A grand slam in the 3rd inning. A 7-5 Rockies lead. And Rob Osgood, after the grand slam of the 3rd, hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 5th. So he goes from one extreme to the other. He'll take a strike over the plate, 0-1. If you're looking for opportunities to advertise with the Provo Angels, you want to get involved with the team, if you own a business, if you want to donate some money to our webcasts, go ahead and give us a call. High and inside, 1-1. We're still looking for sponsors to be involved with our sportsjuice.com webcasts. Obviously, this is something we planned 1 week before the season started, and we decided this would be the best thing for the Angels team. My background is broadcasting. I spent 2 years at AAA Salt Lake as an intern, worked in the booth with a AAA broadcaster, went back to San Diego after my collegiate playing days. I broadcast San Diego State baseball for 2 years, and then worked with the San Diego Padres in 2002 in the broadcast booth. The 2-1 pitch on the inside part of the plate, 3-1. After 2002, during the fall of 2002, I got a job offer to go to Atlantic City to work for the Atlantic City Surf team. I got married to my wife that March. We were living in New Jersey. And then I just moved to Provo, Utah. High fly ball back in front of the press box, 3-2 count. But I was in New Jersey the past year and a half working for a minor league team as broadcaster and radio sales coordinator. And then we came here to Provo, Utah. We love it out here. My wife is pregnant. But we just decided to do the webcast. And so if you want to sponsor some money and throw it in for our webcast this year, contact us at 801-735-5496. We'd love to get you involved with the Provo Angels. High fly ball to the infield. Billy Boyer going to get underneath it, and now Chris Walton will call him off, as that is out number 1.
All right, fans, let's hear it.
So Osgood is out, and Stephen Boggs from San Diego, California digs in. Stephen Boggs has 2 strikeouts in this game. He's 1 for 12 on the season. In fact, Boggs has 5, 7, 8. He's got 7 strikeouts. So 7 of Stephen Boggs' 12 at-bats have been strikeouts. Runner at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. He'll get a piece of it and foul it back, 0-1. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. A 7-5 Rockies lead. The Angels getting set for a phenomenal season. And their new ballpark, which should be built in October, as the front offices will move into the new stadium, and then we will begin play in 2005 at the new ballpark. So if, again, you're in the Utah County area and you'd like to do some advertising with the team, let's get you on board for the 2005 season. Give us a call at 377-2255. Line drive right into the glove of Billy Boyer at second. Stephen Boggs is out. 2 gone, and now Eric Young digs in.
Number 2,
Eric Young Jr., the son of the ex-big leaguer Eric Young, who played a number of years with the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Cubs. His father, nearly 500 career stolen bases. His father was a good ball player. Eric Young had the same build and the same style. And he'll take a pitch, ground it right to Watson at first base, who flips to the pitcher, but he can't get to first base on time. Mike Sweeney was running off the mound. Chris Walston did a good job of fielding the ball, but as he flipped it to the pitcher, Eric Young, with great speed, beat him out. That'll be an infield single for Eric Young. And that helps Young out. He now has a 4-game hitting streak. Dragicevic stops at second base, and it's going to be Dustin Hahn, who is 4 for 4 stepping up. That was a huge out. You know that the Provo Angels wanted to get that man out, but Young, with great speed, is able to beat Mike Sweeney to the base. Dustin Hahn singled in the first. He singled in the third and would eventually score a run. He had a line drive double in the fourth. And then in the sixth inning, he had an RBI single, which made it 7-5 Rockies. From the left side, first pitch. That'll be outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So Dustin Hahn from Elk Grove, California, a 9th-round draft pick out of Fresno, out of Sacramento City. Sweeney, the left-hander, delivers, and it'll be just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 outs on the board. Game 4 of this 5-game set out here in lovely Casper, Wyoming. Up in the mountains, the plains, whatever they call it out here. It's beautiful land. And Sweeney's next pitch sails outside to make it 3-0 to Dustin Hahn. And obviously, you don't want to put a 3-0 count to their best hitter right now. Dustin Hahn will either take or swing through this pitch and then set himself up for his next at-bat. It doesn't matter. He's heading over to first base. A 4-pitch walk. Hahn at first. Eric Young to second. Dragicevic at third. And now Seth Smith makes his way to the bat. Smith is 1 for 4 in his professional debut. But he has that hard line drive double in the 3rd inning. And this is a lefty-lefty situation. Sweeney with the leg kick. Here's the first pitch. And it will bounce. Barely get away from Ben Johnson, the catcher, but it's away. 1-0. Seth Smith, the 50th overall pick by the Rockies. A 7-5 ball game right now. Sweeney delivering. Again, this pitch is outside. 2-0. The Angels do have some activity going on in the bullpen. But Zeke Zimmerman, the pitching coach, is hoping that Mike Sweeney can get out of the jam right here. 2 balls, no strikes, and now he's going to throw it inside to the left-hander. That will again make it a 3-0 count. So Sweeney has not found the strike zone in the last 7 pitches he's thrown. A big pitch right here. What'll Seth Smith do? He'll take it high. That brings home a run, and that should bring out Kochman, and it does. So Kochman will make a slow roll to the mound. It looks like they're checking the bullpen to find out if it's going to happen, and it will. They will make a change. Mike Sweeney leaving. We go to a break. Bases are loaded right now for the Casper Rockies. It is now an 8-5 Rockies lead here in the 8th.
time for the Casper pitch shot call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Casper's leading heater and air conditioning, the Casper pitch shot. Your Carrier dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts. For quality service from quality people, call the Casper pitch shop at 235-9080. Now pitching for the Provo Angels, number 2, Nick Green. And still looking for a 50-50 with his ticket number 888095. If you bought a ticket, pull it out. 888095.
Bottom of the 8th inning. A 8-5 Casper Rockies lead, and the Provo Angels have made a pitching change. They have brought in Nick Green. So Nick Green from Tifton, Georgia, on the mound, a right-hander, a 35th round draft pick by the Angels. Green will be taking on Ryan Fox, who had an outstanding 2 games yesterday during the doubleheader. Let's see if Green can attack him here. First pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, obviously, the Provo Angels don't necessarily want to pitch Fox inside because every time they've done it today, he's walked 3 times. Next pitch, though, inside part of the plate, 3-0. Bases are loaded. There are 2 outs on the board. And after a runner was on first with 2 outs, an infield single, a walk, and then a walk to Seth Green has brought home a run. And that's where they are at it, an 8-5 score. Next pitch to Ryan Fox, inside again, 3-0. So it looks like Nick Green is trying to get an inside strike, but the umpire's not giving it to him. It's a 3-0 count. This is Nick Green's first appearance with the Angels. Fox will pop this one up as it drifts foul. Chris Walton will give it chase at first base, but either way it is foul. 3-1 count. An interesting situation to bring a pitcher from the bullpen into. The strong will survive and the weak will go home. 3 balls, 1 strike to the power hitter Ryan Fox. He had 8 home runs last year with the Tri-City Dust Devils. This year he already has 2 with the Casper Rockies. 3-1. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, and again Ryan Fox calls timeout. Nick Green on the mound. A product out of Georgia. His first time up in this sort of country. 3-1 pitch. Laced foul. Down the third base side. 3-2. The Angels in the 9th inning will be sending up Ryan Leahy, Billy Boyer, and Criff Romali. Let's see how Nick Green does here. Line drive again. Foul down the third base side and over the fence. Ryan Fox is battling right here. He started off 3-0. But Nick Green has thrown 3 pitches either around the strike zone, and Fox has fouled off 2 of them. The full count here in the bottom of the 8th. Bases are juiced. Here's the pitch. And again, a foul ball. This one going to right field. It is a 3-run game. The Angels have to basically get one run for every out they get in the ninth. Next pitch, inside, that one's going to hit him. Well, Ryan Fox gets hit by the pitch. He'll take first base. And after all that battling, a run scores. It is now 9-5. So Eric Young crosses the plate, and Mike Davies will make his way to the plate. There was a runner at first base with 2 outs on the board in the 8th. But then Eric Young had that infield single. Dustin Hahn walked. Seth Smith walked. And now Ryan Fox was hit by a pitch. It is a 9-5 contest. Davies from the left side. Here's the pitch by Green. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Again, stick with us. As soon as this game is over, we'll quickly recap the contest and get you set up for tomorrow's game. Green's pitch will be fouled off of the screen behind home plate. 0-2. We'll get you set up for the home stand, which begins on Wednesday. 4 games against Idaho Falls, and then 3 games against the Ogden Raptors. The 0-2 pitch bangs him up on the inside part of the plate. That ends the inning, but 2 Casper Rockies run scores. We head to the top of the 9th. The Rockies 9 and the Angels 5. Nice pitch.
Showing us his latest dance moves to a song pick just for our Rockies fans. Show us how to do it, Hobart. Appreciation to tonight's sponsor. Thanks again to BioLife for providing us with BioLife Plasma Monday. Don't forget, next Monday is BioLife Plasma Monday. You can pick up your free tickets to BioLife Plasma, but only while they last. Your numbers, ticket number 888068. Please report to the PA booth.
In Casper, Wyoming, I'm your host, Jacob Peters, up in the broadcast booth giving you Provo Angels play-by-play. We're in the top of the 9th inning, and the Rockies lead this by a score of 9-5. 9 runs on 11 hits for the Rockies, 5 runs on 8 hits for the Provo Angels, and the Rockies have called on their closer, Chris Beckner. So Beckner will come on. He'll face the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Beckner did pitch in the first game of the season as he pitched a 1-2-3 inning to open things up for the Angels. Leahy, Boyer, and Romali. Don't forget FutureAngels.com, all the great Angels future information, a lot of good stories on there. You can log on and find out just what the Angels are up to. First pitch to Ryan Leahy, outside for a ball, 1-0. Ryan Leahy, 1 for 3 today with a single, a ground out, and a fly out. And he'll hit a line drive right to the third baseman, Kyle Wilson, who gobbles it up, throws over to first, and that is out number 1.
Congratulations to Dorothy, our 50-50 winner for tonight.
Leahy is victimized, and it's going to be Billy Boyer, who's been on base 3 times this game. He was on base a couple times yesterday in the first game and the second game. Billy Boyer has been slamming the ball. And let's see if he can begin some sort of a rally for your Provo Angels. A 9-5 Rockies lead, top of the 9th. Boyer He'll swing through the first Beckner offering, and it is outside. But he swings anyways, nothing in one. Again, you got to give the Provo Angels a round of applause. They're playing good baseball, and it is early. We can guarantee you that this Provo Angels team will not be anywhere underneath 500 this year. 1-0. Here's the pitch to Boyer. He swings through it. Nothing and two. A couple hecklers out there on top of Billy. A couple of them saying, come on, Billy, you can't do it. And that's another adjustment that some of these guys who played in Mesa last year have to work on. They're not used to a crowd heckling them. Outside against the Boyer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We appreciate you listening to us on SportsJuice.com. If you'd like to be a sponsor of Sports Juice for a small price, we'd love to take your donation, get your name recognized on the website as an official representative of SportsJuice.com. Boyer swing and a miss on an outside pitch. There are 2 outs. Give us a call at 801-735-5496. And with 2 outs on the board, it's going to be Cliff Romoli digging in. Cliff Romoli. Cliff Romoli. I was corrected last night on a family member of Cliff Romoli from Georgia Tech, 11th rounder. He's had a good game. Here's the first pitch. Romoli will take it over the plate for a strike. The Rockies only 2 strikes away from picking up this victory in their 3rd straight against the Angels. Beckner set, and it's fouled off the mask of Ryan Fox. Nothing and 2. 9-5, the Rockies lead this game. And you wonder, where did it turn around? And there will be some lessons being taught tonight by Kochman. And you better hope that things are okay. Nothing and 2. Here it is. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Romali waits, delivering his Beckner, and he will foul the pitch back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Log on to www.provoangels.com and read all your recaps, get all your Angels information. Zach Frazier doing a great job keeping that up to date. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it is, and again, Romali fouling it back. Chris Beckner, who pitched a 1-2-3 inning in Game 1 of the season, is now looking very close to pitching a 1-2-3 inning here in the 4th game against the Angels. The 1-2. Here's the lay kick. Little floater. The shortstop will have to come in. Takes a bad hop. Throws over to first. And look at Romali as he dives. The ball gets away. He's going to take second base as the catcher Ryan Fox will recover it down near the dugout. So Romali sliding into first base as the shortstop kind of caught it behind himself. And that will be an E6 on Jeff Dragisevich. So Romali finds himself at second, and now Felix Nunez steps in to take his at-bats. Felix Nunez 0 for 4 today. And we'll wait and see what Nunez decides to do in this particular spot. A runner in scoring position. It's a 9-5 contest. And now Ryan Fox, the catcher, will go out and talk to his pitcher. So Romali at second base. 2 outs on the board. It's the top of the 9th inning. The final shot for the Angels to get something done here. Nunez digging in from the right side. A .333 hitter last season in Mesa. And a runner in scoring position. It's a 3-run contest. Beckner's pitch will be foul down the right field side, nothing in 1. The Rockies scored 6 runs in the 3rd inning. Another run in the 6th and 2 in the 8th. The Angels scored in the 4th, 3 runs in the 5th, and then a solo shot in the 8th inning, as Nate Sutton is your Angels player of the game. 0-1. Here's the pitch to Nunez, and he'll take it low. A ball and a strike. So Nate Sutton from UC Santa Barbara is our choice as Angels player of the game, despite them trailing by 3 runs right now. Nate Sutton has done everything right. 1-1. Beckner with the leg kick. Here's the pitch. Chopper, foul down the third base side. Umpire saying that it was on the foul line. It looked like it might have been fair. But, of course, the umpire has a much better view than we do up here. So Nunez will take a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nunez out of the batter's box, checking the grip, and knocking the dirt off the bottom of his spikes. He adjusts and gets set. He now steps in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the 9th. Romali in scoring position. It's a 3-run game, so obviously they'd have to start an amazing rally right here. As the pitch gets away, it's away from Nunez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ben Johnson in the on-deck circle. If they can only get to Nate Sutton, that's really the goal right now that they should have in mind. The problem is Nate Sutton is still standing on the dugout steps. He's behind the man in the on-deck circle. Nunez, a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here's the pitch, and that will ring him up. Nunez takes a strike on the outside part of the corner, and the Casper Rockies have just defeated the Provo Angels and have taken the series. Even though we do have the game tomorrow, the Rockies have won 3 of the first 4 games against the Provo Angels. Final score 9-5. Don't forget to log on tomorrow at 6:55 as we give you all the pregame and play-by-play action. We're going to pause for just a moment, but we'll bring it right back out here to recap the game and get you set up for tomorrow. I'm Jacob Peters, your host, and we'll be back in just a moment. Final score here at Mike Lansing Field. The Casper Rockies defeating the Provo Angels by a score of 9-5. And just a good outing by Casper. It really only took them 1 inning to take care of the Provo Angels. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd off of Francisco Cordova. It was an interesting inning. With 1 out on the board, Dustin Hahn singled. Seth Smith then brought him home on a line drive double, which made it 1-0 Casper. Ryan Fox walked, and the reason why they walked him was obviously first base was open, and he hit a couple home runs the day before. Davies then hit a fly ball, so with 2 outs on the board and 2 men on, it looked like Francisco Cordova might be able to get out of the jam. But he walked Kyle Wilson on 4 pitches. He walked Jeff Dragicevic to bring home the 2nd run, and then Rob Hosgood came up and hit a grand slam, which made it 6-0. Ben Johnson of the Angels hit a solo shot to open up the 4th, which made it 6-1. And then in the 5th inning, with the Provo Angels getting the first 3 men on base, Leahy singled, Boyer walked, Cliff Romali walked to load things up. Nunez popped out, Johnson struck out, and Nate Sutton was down on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes before he hit a monster double right down the right field line. That made it a 6-4 game. Nate Sutton cleared the bases, and it stood at a 6-4 game until the Casper Rockies put a run on the board in the bottom of the 6th. That made it 7-4. The Angels came back in the top of the 8th as Nate Sutton led off the inning with a home run. That turned it into a 7-5 contest, but the Rockies put an exclamation mark behind things as they put 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the 8th on a walk to Seth Smith, which brought home a run, and a Ryan Fox hit by pitch, which brought home the 9th run. So that's it. Final score 9-5. Winning pitcher for the Casper Rockies, winning pitcher for the Casper Rockies, Shane Lindsay, picking up the victory. And it's going to be losing pitcher Francisco Cordova for the Angels. Join us tomorrow at 6:55 as we bring you Provo Angels baseball here on SportsJuice.com. Drop us an email, jpeters@provoangels.com. I look forward to hearing from you. We'll be sure to read any messages you have over the air. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll be back with you tomorrow. Don't forget to log on to www.angelsbaseball.provoangels.com or www.futureangels.com. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. And cross your fingers, the Angels need to go home at least with a cup.